Alright.
Brooks.
Brooks, that's perfect.
I like it.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
We're in there.
Go big.
Yeah!
So battle speed in this game only affects enemies, which is why you see Bic saying it to 6 right there. Something I never knew as a kid, I always put to 1.
Same.
I look at my ass.
So right off the bat, what Big's going to be doing a little bit of experience manipulation. You want Wedge and Vix, not Biggs, Vix, Vapor Rub. You want them to run away so Terra gets as much experience as possible. You want to get her to level 6 before we basically lose control of her. It is 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I know what I'm talking about. And so, in order to do that, you'll see him use Bioblast, which has a very long animation in order to queue up basically the runs from Vix and Wedge. And in this fight, not only is it a pincer attack, but the Lobo has a can't run flag, so you have to kill the Lobo before you're able to run from this fight. And so you have to clear one side and then kill the Lobo, and then queue up the run and have both of them run away, like so. And also clearing you notice Bic defending right there at the end. That also saves frames.
It's like 12 frames or something each time.
The speed tricks, man. So this is Final Fantasy VI. I am Nirm. This guy is Bichphuongballz. And this guy over here, he can say his own name.
I am Feral Pig.
Half feral, half man, half pig.
Exactly.
Not half at all.
Nice crit.
So the reason the reason Wedge and Vix run away, and the reason why you use Bioblast is how the run mechanics work in this game is a little odd, but you're not actually able to run away if you don't have a full ATB, which is why Terra, he knows for certain Terra's never going to run away because he never has a full ATB at the end of the battle.
Yeah, I don't think they ever repeated the mechanic. Everyone runs away separately. You have to have full ATB to do it. Everybody also has their own stat that is based around how well they run away. So like Locke runs away easily, where like Cyan does not. And then there's like an invisible charge meter that you have to charge up even if your ATB is full and you still won't run away. So it's all really, really strange and really annoying at times. But you can make use of it.
So this is the first boss of the run. Well, it's intended to be, your ATB tutorial boss. However, in great FF6 fashion, this is probably one of the more complex bosses in the run now. Thanks, LCC.
Let's see what we can do. Oh god, that's bad. That's bad. Oh. So, it's a time loss in the sense that you normally would be able to kill him before he gets in the shell, but in other ways it's not, because, well, old strats required you to wait for the shell anyway. So, ultimately that came down to my own mistake for not getting to Terra fast enough. Her ATB was kind of crappy, so that didn't help either, but ultimately I could have pulled that off.
So the concept behind that whole boss battle trick was to glitch the shell into countering with Mega Bolt, and that would stop the transformation from happening, and you would get that tech missile off, and you would be on your merry way. But good old Bic here.
Getting the choke out of the way early, I hope.
Choke out of the way early.
If only it worked out that way.
Only there were a set number of big chokes that were going to happen.
So one thing that differs from this between 4 and 6 is that bosses do not give experience in this game. They still get magic points, I believe, but not experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get magic points.
Hey,
That was-
nice and perky again.
Do you know something we don't? Oh, we're dead. Oh.
Yeah, there's a mechanic for switching characters using X and Y. One of the main things behind that is you can use Y, and whoever had just most recently gotten their ATB full, that's what Y will switch to. And I was hoping to catch Terra right as she got her turn, but I was a tad too early.
Good edit. I didn't see that. Look at the rest of it, man.
No.
The superimposed too.
Nice. Well, we're on that pace now.
So are we going full speedrun strats, or we got some names planned out?
I don't have any names planned out. You can give me names, I don't care.
That's too short notice.
You know what? It's okay, because I'm gonna go for my usual river names, but we can think of names in between. Oh God. Big choke number 2. Damn it.
Well,
Those are the
Yeah.
skills it takes to be second place in this category, boys. Right there.
you're averaging 1 choke per 3 minutes, man. I always feel like this game is incredibly slow until you get sprint shoes.
Yeah.
You're just like,
yeah, movement is a little.
Coming from somebody who plays Final Fantasy IV, where movement is always the speed. So here, Bic's gonna take as many fights as he needs in order to get to level 6, and you are currently on a step route, correct? So the way step routing works in Final Fantasy 3/6 as opposed to 2/4 is it is a lot more manipulatable in terms of getting something set up and then you're good to go. But it is by no means less complex. So shoutouts to twitch.tv/TheLCC for coming up with step routes. I think
Yeah, Bichphuongballz
Just
played a big
messed
role
up
in that as well, yeah. Very similar to the way myself did as well. Bichphuongballz had his own script to like start mapping out the different seeds and stuff, and then he and LCC worked from there to find the more optimal ones.
So I think seed determines both where you get encounters and what monster packs as well, right? So this is all known.
this is all part of the plan.
And it all works out fine unless, one of the Wedge or Vix doesn't run away in the beginning. If one of them doesn't run away, then it really messes with everything. Because you have to fight extra battles.
Yeah, that can
It's
screw with
all
you.
part of the plan.
Yeah. And a bit less crazy, but having to farm for Gao can mess you up too.
Yeah.
As Nern brought up sprint shoes, that lets you move around a lot faster. It's both a blessing and a curse because you do have to make sure your walking is correct, and it can be hard when you're moving around so fast, trying to cut corners and stuff, especially. So chances are I'll probably take it maybe a tad bit slower.
I know there's like a lot of very small movement optimizations you can do in this game, like running up and down stairs and beginning to move before the screen actually loads, and just like some very minor things that, if you're capable of doing them all, add up to a significant amount of time.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest difference between LCC and I now for this category. He's easily a better player regardless, but the biggest thing between us is movement during transitions, because while it's still fading in, you can get like 2-ish steps or so through before it even like fades all the way in. But you have to actually know the room ahead of time, have that memorized so you know what you're doing. And it's something I'm particularly bad about. And over a 3, almost 4-hour run, that can add up quite a bit. Same little tricks, like with the naming, you get 1-letter name, so you draw less text. That can save time over the course of the entire run. The saving frames during battle, things like that. We didn't think of a name of this guy.
Nope.
It's okay.
You can always default to the good old Kutan army.
The only question is Cyan crack attack or is he Kenny?
Ooh. Well, until Science starts saying things like dick fuck and stuff, maybe he's more like Kenny. I don't know. Yeah.
He does have a funny way of speaking.
That's true.
Dang.
Good,
is true.
Good point. Good point. Decisions. I'll leave it up to chat. Where's Kenny anyway? Is he working?
I believe so.
If I had that glorious mustache, I would have gotten Will quick kill.
I see.
Mistakes, man.
Mistakes were made.
Need more information? No.
Want to know how to ride a chocobo?
You're gonna learn anyway. So this is one of a couple sequences where you have several party members. We're gonna skip all the battles. It turns out you don't actually have to. You don't actually get into battles with these guys unless I think unless they're stationary.
Mm-hmm.
So by waiting until they start moving, Vic can just walk right past them. And since he's never touching them when they're not moving, it just doesn't actually initiate combat, so we can get to the marshal much faster. Gonna be doing that again later as well.
We made it.
Cuckoo survived today.
I should have queued a second attack. That's okay. It's not a big deal.
So, normally in the menu, you wouldn't be able to get to Mog's equipment, but because you're able to unequip things in battle, we can steal Mog's higher level equipment at this point in the game. And that gives us a little bit of an item boost right off the bat. And that party right there had one future party member in it, and it wasn't Mog. Just saying. Shh. The world will never know.
Yeah, the shield's less important, but you do want the pike for some extra damage for Edgar later on. You can be a little bit more risky is probably not the right word, but more aggressive with your attacks, and then queuing up attacks and trying to get the items out right before he dies. You can certainly get the pike before that happens, but it can be difficult to get the shield sometimes.
So, the world map has very particular movement. I don't think it's as much of a thing here, but there are, basically on the world map, there are tiles where you do not get encounters. And so, there's a step route where you take a very specific path as you walk from town to town and place to place, and you're minimizing the number of steps where you would get encounters. Because leafers are deadly, man.
Dude, that cabbage is brutally massacring that rabbit.
It wasn't for like 10 years that I realized that's a rabbit on top of cabbage. I thought it was just like this green, gray amalgamation monster.
There are so many sprites where I just, like as an adult, I realized as a kid I had no idea what the heck they were. And now, because like half of the boss's heads, I didn't know where they were on the sprite. I was just so confused all the time.
Edgar can be Greg,
Okay.
and Cyan can be Kenny.
Crack is all about them combos.
How rude of me.
This is Crack.
This is Greg.
Oh man. That rip eat Bannon.
Yeah, that's okay.
Crackhead.
Crack at Bannon, which is actually pretty
Which
good.
Yeah, actually works out.
I think aside from Thamasa, like 3 hours from now, this is like the slowest and least favorite part for me. Just trying to get through all this. But one of the...
Wait, you can walk straight down out of that room?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Never
Look at that tech, dude.
Dude. I always walked to the middle and then walked out.
See those frames.
I didn't know I could either until I observed it for myself. But getting back to the step route, a big part of it is really counts for the first hour or so of a game before we get smoke bombs. Smoke bombs allow you to escape from combat basically as soon as the first person's turn comes up, so that's nice and easy. Until then, we have to deal with running away. So we talked about how running works. One of the other things that applies to that as well is how many enemies are on screen. The more enemies there are, the harder it is to run away from them. So a lot of what this step route does is gives me a lot of single enemy encounters that are really easy to run away from. And then in other places, it also gives me less dangerous encounters, like having one bomb instead of 3 because bombs are dangerous, or giving me encounters where it's impossible to get a pincer, things like that. So you absolutely don't need the step route, it just makes things more consistent, and ultimately consistency brings you better time.
So you're guaranteed to have that Chancellor not walk in front of you? With
No.
this.
Not at all.
He can still be a jerk.
He can. In fact, my last 2 or 3 runs, he always walked across right as I got there.
I always love this part.
Kefka is the man.
Dude,
There's
Kefka's...
sand on my boots.
It's really interesting, Kefka's character, because they didn't really introduce somebody, I guess, with as much personality as Kefka had in a Final Fantasy game, really until this game, especially in the English releases. Because 5 had a little bit of that, but
Yeah, Gilgamesh came out with that a little bit.
5 didn't get released in the
Yeah.
US. Oh,
Rip.
man.
No staring contest either. But I didn't have the awkward one guy staring, the other guy not, so that's fine. I like consistency. Get it all or miss it all. The only thing that sucks is you don't get the ability to mash multiple buttons for your text in this. It's only the A button.
You're supposed to follow him.
Oh.
Man, don't you not play this game?
I fixed it, alright? My bad. That brings the big choke counter to like 3 already in 20 minutes.
The staring contest? Do you consider that a big choke?
Yeah, man.
Alright.
Even though I haven't gotten it probably since I don't even know when the last time I got it was. I don't think I got it at Limit Break either. Soon we will be able to play this game. Soon.
He's got sprint shoes there.
I love that guy just running back and forth.
I like how he's like, here's what's going on. I'm gonna go run back and forth.
Son of a submariner.
Yeah.
Let's have Crack lead the way here. So I'm gonna try a little bit of NPC movement manipulation here by pausing on this guy's dialogue box for an extra second or so. If you do things well, you're basically guaranteed to have the NPCs in South Figaro sit in your way. So you're gonna try to make sure that doesn't happen by lagging there for a second. You lose a second there, and hopefully not lose, 3 seconds into town. Got another hard boss coming up.
Super difficult.
Ugh, that ATB, man. Crack LT.
So one thing that you probably encountered playing this casually is you get Terra, you realize, or you get Terra, I mean you had Terra, and you've been using magic this whole time, so you're like, hey, let's use some magic. If you use magic in this battle, the guys freak out and they're like, holy crap, you can use magic. This is the only battle that actually happens though. What?
I'm getting ever hated pretty hard, and he's not even here, dude. Like, I've never seen any of this luck before. I think that's mostly my fault, though, too. But I've still never seen them get another turn.
Big
Yeah,
counter increase.
That was odd.
Yeah, we definitely need a big choke counter.
Thankfully, it doesn't matter.
I'll do it if you don't.
Do it. You'll make it look good. I'm just here to make sure things.
So anyway, yeah. So
No.
for some reason, after that battle, you can use magic
Once
with
it's
Terra,
over.
and they don't really care.
That is a long cutscene, too. You do not want to do that. I remember I did it for Voligen once, and I immediately regretted it. Because it took forever.
Yeah, text box.
No, we're gonna do this proper.
Oh, you're gonna get the picture, too?
Type in Big Joe. It's legit.
Shout out to Mode 7, check Mode Ryan.
See a lot of Mode 7 in all of its glory. And Terra's death there doesn't really mean anything because I get a spring right there, so it's all good.
Mick's gonna be fighting these battles because before we get saving, we want an average parry level of 9.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get Edgar to 10, Locke to 9, and Terra to 8. So we're just fighting these battles because we need the XP anyway.
Need a little bit of cash too, so it all works out nicely.
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, should I have like multiple images?
Going all out, huh?
Hell yeah,
NPCs.
It almost worked. It almost worked.
So now we finally get the sprint shoes and pair of goggles.
Sprint shoes.
The goggles will come into play in 3 hours.
That's some stuff there. Buy these for 3 hours.
This guy is awesome.
Want to know how to ride a chocobo?
You cannot say no, despite the fact that you already rode a chocobo.
Yeah, kind of like FF4 yesterday with the game-breaking glitch. There are some variables involved to make it work the way you want it to. So part of that is using the goggles there. They're really worthless in this game for the most part, because darkness and blind they don't do anything. So what do you care about preventing them? But actually, in this case, we need them specifically for the glitch. So you'll be seeing that later. This is another area where step route really comes in handy. Brawlers are really easy to run away from.
Deuce put a global hotkey on the timer.
Did he?
Yeah.
It's not global.
He turned it back off. He turned it on today. Okay, cool.
Oh, dude?
For the definitely for PC games, it made it easier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had to turn it off.
I don't think you turned it off though.
It's off.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Brawlers.
Typically are easy to run away from, and they don't do as much damage as Tuskers and things like that. So the step route really gives me an optimal way to get through, making sure that I get my levels without having to fight anything I don't really need to. I'm gonna take an extra step there because I do want an encounter here.
So yeah, what you see him doing there is characters will never run away during animations, and like Big said earlier, there's like a gauge that you have to fill before characters can run away. So when he plans on running away, he will be kind of doing the run animation, even though they during that part it's safe to do because they cannot run away during animations, and it needs to be full for party members to be able to run away.
It just so happens the way the experience lines up, Locke doesn't need to be part of one of those four enemy battles. Oh, I didn't want to do that. That's okay. I'll get another chance for that. I do want to do some gear swapping, so that would have been an opportune time to do it, but I kind of just kept going. It's not a big deal though. Nice. I can afford to run away from 2 battles here, so that would be pretty good luck if I get another preemptive somewhere. Everywhere else I have to fight. Unless you're memorizing what encounters you get per every, 200 some odd seeds, like, it's really nice to have it all laid out for you, so you know exactly what you can get away with. Ow. So just a minor optimization there to get people the gear they need. You can normally do it in Vargas too, but it's a little bit faster to do it that way. Dang.
Main.
Terra's getting wrecked.
Luckily, when Terra turned level 6, she learned the spell Antidote.
I guess I'll take the time to heal now as well. And hopefully I won't have to later. Bean Touch kind of sucks because you're forced to go into the menu to cure that. You don't want to just sit with the poison. It's not a huge deal for one time because I was probably going to go into the menu to heal before Vargas anyway. but hopefully I don't get another. So I should be getting my levels here unless it's a preemptive, in which case I'm gonna leave. Whereas unless you were counting experience as you went through, you wouldn't necessarily want to risk doing stuff like that. Sheesh. Yep, there we go.
You still have it on active?
Huh?
Don't you have to set? You set it for active for the whelp thing?
No.
No, thought it was.
Or else you couldn't weight trick anything.
I suppose it's true.
So I guess we can talk about weight tricking, because you just did it there. Basically, this game has two different battle settings. You have active and weight. The speed run for the most part is going to be in weight mode. What that means is that when you're in menus, ATBs do not increase, and the reason you see him doing that here and there is because the character who is doing the action, so Tara right now, if he was not weight tricking, she would not be gaining ATB, but Vargas would. So we want to basically halt his ATB until she's done, and then exit so that she can actually gain ATB at the same time as the boss. Basically to just limit enemy actions. And we'll soon find out if we have to increase that big jump counter. We did it!
I don't really miss it too often anymore because of something we found out about, or I shouldn't say we at all, LCC found out, to where if your D-pad is not fully depressed, when you hit A to enter Blitz, it actually inputs A as your first command for Blitz automatically, and no Blitz starts with A, so you're basically guaranteed to fail the Blitz every single time you do that. Which, I mean, I can't say for sure, but I was probably doing that at least most of the time. So even though I was doing the correct inputs, I was doomed to fail every single time. Like, blitzes are not hard to do, but there are little quirks like that to where if you're not waiting till your buttons are fully depressed before you press the next one, then it messes it up. So you have to actually take it a tiny bit slow to make sure you do it correctly. Not super slow, but just a little bit. So little did I know. Because I used to miss that pummel, like... literally every time. I took 2 extra steps there on accident, but it's not a big deal.
Alright, so if ever hate we're here.
The returner soft lock shouldn't happen though, because of manipulation. But I guess I'll save it anyway.
Nah, go for it.
Okay.
This marathon's all about speed. Can't be doing safety saves.
I'll definitely be doing plenty of safety saves, regardless of what these guys say, but I never do it here, because when you manipulate, you're also, in some ways, controlling the NPC movement, so it really shouldn't happen.
Yeah, so what we're talking about there is that the NPC, like at the right of that last room, he can walk in front of, I don't know if it's, I think it's in between.
It's between
the two of them.
Yeah.
And if he gets in between Edgar and the guy that's leading them, then they just kind of feel like hanging out and don't
And you can't get
really
through.
move, and then it just he soft locks.
Pretty common one too, to be honest, as far as soft locks go, but especially back in the days where no one was manipulating anything, but now it's not really an issue. There are little tricks here and there too. There's a lot of points in time, like right there, and this dialogue here, where you can hold A as you're running into the person, and you can talk to them at the first available frame. I'm gonna grab that potion just in case. You normally wouldn't need it, but one, Edgar was all the way to the right anyway, and two, just a little bit extra safety. You can kind of get owned on potion drops and then owned on damage, and you might be really in a bad position, yeah, as far as healing is concerned. We're gonna grab a bunch of items here. Most of it is just to sell for other stuff. A couple other things are gonna get used here pretty shortly. Other little tricks too, like if I just hold down the entire conversation, it'll automatically select no, and I don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to like sit and wait and make sure, oh, let me make sure I say no. Because you really want to say no. You definitely don't want to say yes. But you don't have to like sit and try to be careful, because it's automatically going to happen.
Yeah, this basically is the start to this cutscene. I think a lot of casual people were like, "Oh yeah, I'll be your ray of hope," and then you sit through the whole meeting and everything.
Oh, so this is quicker because the meeting doesn't happen?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So it's a double whammy.
And you also
it's
get
quicker,
the Genji glove.
and the Genji glove is way better than the gauntlet. The gauntlet really doesn't do anything. It's you're holding one weapon with two hands, and that's supposed to simulate you doing more damage, but it doesn't really. Whereas the Genji glove, you get to equip two different weapons, and you get the benefit of both. So it's a way better item. And then we're going to be doing our first resets here to manipulate. Because the river, you can get up to 9 encounters, which is awful. And this way, I'm going to get 2, because they're mandatory. Everything else I'm going to skip. Oops.
I thought I was gonna come back for a second. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I know that. So we did 2 things there. We incremented the seed first by 1 by getting to the load screen, and then I reset it again, incrementing it by 1 the next time I got to the load screen, and then by 13 when I loaded this game. Crack a bannon.
Track at Bannon.
Not only that, I also had to get the NPC movement to a specific value. That's why I sat there in that room and watched that guy. And between those 2 things, I should be able to skip every non-mandatory encounter on this thing. And then using the same kind of run tricks, I'm going to get everybody to run except for Edgar here, because he needs to gain a level for later on. So theoretically, that should be the only encounter, or the last encounter that I get, besides Ultros. If I messed up by a slight amount of movement, then I'll get 1 extra. But either way, it should be a lot faster than you just rolling the dice at this section, because it really sucks. You can get so many encounters and just lose so much time. And it can be really frustrating. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna take the time to heal just in case Terry Riot Blades.
I believe.
Normally you wouldn't heal there at all. Ultros' attacks are all scripted, so everybody's safe. Terra usually dies, but we don't care. But if you heal her, she'll be in critical HP, and you have a shot at her doing her desperation attack, which is a bit of a time saver and mostly for swag.
The swag.
Okay.
So this fight's actually really, really optimized too. Again, Ultros' attacks are all scripted, and he's gonna say specific things at specific times and attack specific people. And this fight's optimized around people charging their ATB while he's talking. So normally we used to not even use fire really because he would sit and do dialogue, but in this case, when he does that, I can actually charge people's ATB. She died anyway because Ultros hit her on his first attack, and he can hit any one of the 4, so that's just bad luck. But again, it doesn't matter. Alright.
Good defend.
So it's a quick and easy fight. You know you did it right if you kill him before he says, "Muscleheads hate him." And because it's all scripted and you know what's happening, you can afford to put Bannon in the front row. If he would die, then it'd be game over. But since I know I'm going to kill him fast enough before he would even attack, then it's all good. Now we're gonna switch over to the different scenarios, something that was kind of cool, playing casually, like taking care of your different parties and seeing what happens. And you know, they all play out kind of differently too. We're gonna do Sabin's first because at the very end of his scenario, you can do some shopping and you can buy smoke bombs, which is gonna allow everybody else's scenarios to go faster. We're also gonna grab Shadow. It takes time because I have to sit here and talk to him and name him and all that, but it makes things a lot safer. And you wouldn't just do it for a marathon, you would pretty much do it all the time just because you lose a lot of runs or a lot of time. Alright, whatever.
Sure.
Sado.
What's up?
The dog's are OP, dude. So again, same thing here. You saw that's a great example of just a quick runaway that's possible because I only have one enemy in the encounter. So not every encounter I'll get is amazing. It's just there's no perfect seed, you know, for any one to get all segments perfect anyway. So you just kind of have to deal with it. This is just the best one overall. Little optimization here too. If you just hold right and go right to your hiding spot, it's a little bit faster than you going down and then doing your little like oh crap like animation and then running all the way back.
I never knew that either.
So just a perfect example of like when you see a good player like the LCC play this game, there's a lot of small things that he's doing that makes him over the course of the run a lot faster than everybody else who runs this game.
The great Suikoden 5 runner, LCC.
That 14-hour world record.
So we name him K-Rank or Kenny?
Call him Kenny. The man Kenny was born to play, right here. Sir Kenny.
Is he still even on weight for this?
Yeah. There's no reason not to. You'd have to change it back, and ATP is not halted when you charge Sword Tech anyway.
You're gonna be seeing a lot more of that.
Okay, good.
A lot more of that sword tech later.
So the black belt of that fight is the common drop, and then the rare drop is a Phoenix down.
Phoenix down. A lot of times in this game, you want the common drop.
Yeah, you really want the common stuff.
How dependent are you on drops like that? Is there anything that's like significant setbacks?
At this point, it used to not be a big deal. You would just end up being able to buy less smoke bombs. All you would do with the black belt is sell it. And if you got like really bad preemptive luck, you risk running out of smoke bombs before you get to buy more. So that like kind of sucked, but it wasn't a big deal. Now what we do is we skip getting the earrings and lock scenario, and we buy it later, and that's $5 grand that you normally wouldn't have to worry about. $5 grand's a lot in the early game. So if I didn't get that black belt, it would basically make doing that impossible.
Do you still have the opportunity to go and pick up the earrings
Yeah.
in case you don't get it?
Yeah. But since I have it, it should be fine.
These Kefka scenes are what finally let me know that, wow, these games can have great dialogue. This is amazing.
Mission Kefka's like the best villain of all the series.
Definitely up there.
Definitely looks better than all of them.
Well, you have the crazy angle. Like a lot of the bad guys are too classical fantasy, Dark Lord type.
I think how many of them actually succeed in their quest other than him?
That's true. Yeah. Second part of the game is all about how he succeeds.
Oops.
What a
Oh.
Lady says to a waiter, classic.
I could never tell if there was supposed to be some kind of extra joke in there.
I'm gonna just steal Shadow's ninja gear, put it on Sabin. He's better off with it, and we're not gonna put any gear on Shadow except for his weapon. Because if you could put a shield on him, but then it actually messes with his his evade, and our preference is for him to evade because it's higher.
So one thing about Shadow, I know when right after you get him, after a certain point, there's like a 1 in 8 chance after every encounter or something. It's a chance to just leave, right?
Yeah,
How
so
does that work? How does
he's
that kind of impact the run if he does leave?
So thankfully it doesn't, because it's impossible. He's scripted to not be able to leave in the camp and in the train, and it's the only places we're gonna fight encounters.
Okay, but he can leave before the train.
But he can leave in the world map and in the Phantom Forest. But we're running away from all encounters there, so it's cool. Now, what we're still waiting to have happen is for the enemy to attack before you get to run away, to have Shadow block it, and then to have the dog kill it, and then have Shadow leave after that. Which is a 1 in 16 chance. Countdown actually had it happen maybe a week or two ago, almost, so that we did the dog counter and the B-Core died, but Shadow didn't leave. We're still waiting for that to happen in a PB attempt, or a run in general.
So what, for the ghost train or something, he might be really useful for, or where is he critical help?
He is critical basically everywhere. He's critical for the camp. The other strat is just solo Sabin with a black belt, and where you basically hope that he counters all the time and doesn't get crit ever and get killed. That was your goal, and then so this is a bit more consistent. And then on the train, it just helps to have another body around, in case you get blazed or in case you get evil tooted by the train and you lose control of characters because you might get berserked or confused. So it's nice to have another guy around. Or if something happens and someone already dies and you have 2 people instead of 1 person, that kind of stuff. So it's just too many bad things can happen in this scenario. It helps to just have someone else around.
Bible thump.
We actually saw our first instance of fast stairs earlier, but it's too late to talk about.
Bible thump. For the stairs. Not the story.
I am Kenny.
I like how his name was Warrior right there.
Nice.
So you can get 3 or 4 guards here. It's set by the seed, so I'll have 1 4 and 1 3. Dispatch is actually fine in this fight because you have to wait for someone's turn to come up anyway. That's nice though. Cyan can technically counter. It's like he has a black belt on even though he doesn't. But if he dispatches again in these fights, it's a waste of time because of the animation. Because you can just one-shot everybody with your normal. Oh, nice preemptive. So we're good. It's super ideal. Nice. You can't ask for a better fight there. This one's a little RNG heavy. You kind of have to sit and wait to see what Cyan does. Your hope is that he just melee attacks one of the guards in the front, then you're good to go from there. It's basically the opposite of what I wanted, but it's okay. It would have been worse if he dispatched the guy in the back. Ow. Yeah, with manipulation, this game notably has a lot less RNG than FF4. FF4 is kind of known for it trolling you. There's not a whole lot of it here because of manipulation, but there are points like here, and I'll point out a couple other places later on that it can play a role. Specifically in this scenario too. This scenario is the worst. Heal for safety. Do I have tonics? I do have tonics. I'm just gonna get rid of them. On one hand, tonics are nice to have because it's like they're throwaway items, but you really don't want them taking up room because they're throwaway items. So if you do have to go into the menu to heal like that, then you may as well just get rid of them. This game also shares the same mechanic as 4 and 5, where if you just hold A, it kind of acts like a turbo after like a bit of delay. So in situations like this, I can just hold a button. It'll probably be slightly faster than me trying to mash. Also doesn't matter what beam you use, they all one-shot. So, you just like to be silly and try to use all 3. Potion count's not bad.
Those little fence posts prevented you from stealing the high-tech armor and destroying everything in the game. Great.
Such tech. Cyan is one of the worst people for running away, and so we'll see how he does. I want to say it's like Cyan, Bannon, Strago, and maybe Umaro are like the worst. So far it's been pretty good though. Ah, of course. Of course. You don't have to kill them all, you can just clear one side and they're undead, everything's undead, well almost everything's undead here, so you can make it a little bit quicker. Instead of me attacking, I can throw a potion on them and just move on with my life, but that is a crappy time loss. It's not the last pincer I can get either. This place is pretty awful. Even with manipulation, it can be kind of bad, but without, it's one of the worst places in the run. Lots of big packs you can run into, lots of things that waste lots of time, like Whispers casting Demi, and you can get into an encounter with 4 of them. Bombs, you can get a bomb 3-pack, and they can all blaze you, which means you'll die. So this is another place that really benefits a lot from manipulation. There will be some 3-packs, that'll be the worst of what I get, but they're not bad.
So are you still 2 steps off from those 2 steps in the cave?
No, because I reset for the river, everything is good. You can afford to take some steps around the ghost here if you need to, because I have to force an encounter, because you don't want what's outside. Ugh. In some ways, back attacks are not necessarily the worst thing, because you might have to sit and charge your run anyway, but obviously still not ideal. You'll have to take 2 steps there to summon the ghost.
This fight's always funny because he says no escape, but what you do is you just run away anyway.
So that's classic Cyan right there. Actually, I guess classic Cyan would have been eating attacks from all 3 ghosts and then running away. So that's not bad. I would love to see this happen in real life with Crack and Kenny. One holding the other, jumping gaps. Even if that gap is like 6 inches, it's fine. Maybe tonight. As long as I don't lose control of Sabin, then yes, it will happen.
Count those Frankersies. Count them.
There's a lot of Frankersies.
Reached it.
I don't know, man.
Oh my god. These back attacks.
16, 20, 31, 36, 43.
There's
That's definitely not 200 Frankersies.
Alright. 81 Frankersies.
That's like about 80.
Here I can't really afford to take the extra steps, so I just gotta accept the ghosts trolling there, unfortunately. These guys are really dangerous as well, but we got a decent run. And even if Kenny had died there, it would have been whatever, because he's this slow, and I don't care.
Cold-blooded.
I'll take the shots, he's not here to defend himself. We're gonna take the upper path, 'cause it's still faster than running through the cars themselves.
What about Siegfried, man?
He never cleared the monsters for me like he said he would, so F that guy.
It's a lot more Fingers E's.
It's a lot of Ringer's Eves. So I will appease the fans as long as I don't get evil tooted and lose control of Sabin. If that happens, there's nothing I can do. Okay, so that's...
Gotta enter it.
Alright.
Suplex that train, yo.
Yo, there we go.
There we go.
Didn't Bic choke the
This is-
suplex?
This is a true run.
I'm gonna do a bunch of selling soon, so what I'm gonna try to do is put all the stuff I don't want at the top, leaving one slot for an item I'm gonna get from the next fight. We should be half decent on money, so that's nice. Probably do my first safety save here too. Poor Kenny. He's having a rough day today.
Well, a name like Owain, that kid's probably better off.
Ouch. I mean, point taken, but ouch.
That was good. I was busy thinking of a Seinfeld joke, but alright.
So right here, Cyan, or Kenny's going to be grieving for a while, and so the game just inexplicably gives you, like, time to just
Do
wait
whatever.
until you can progress, and so it's a good time to get some menuing in, move stuff around, optimize your menu for the selling you're about to do,
What?
so on and so forth.
That took too long, but that's fine. Whatever.
Oh, baby.
Enjoy that.
You don't put it on active.
Actually,
Spreadsheet combo with it. It's really nice. Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
Rip stream quality?
under normal circumstances, I would try to kill the train with anyone but Shadow, so I can hop in his menu and take his weapon out, but I'll just pull it out there. It's not absolutely mandatory, but I'm just trying to go for as much money as possible.
So what Bic's going to try and do here is to try and get a quick kill on this boss, and that's going to require a lot of setup involving Cyan, or Kenny.
Kenny's just super sad that his family's dead, so he just wants to end it. It's a really cool glitch that we'll also hopefully be seeing later on in the run.
Kinda don't want to take a turn if I don't have to. So I'm gonna be a little bit behind here. That sucks. I don't have to worry about accidentally triggering him early, at least. So there's something there. to wait an extra turn. Normally this would be the audio cue to kill the piranha, and you'll actually spawn the boss, because the boss comes on a timer, not on how many piranhas you kill. But I fell a little bit behind, so we'll just go for it.
Nice.
Got it.
Oh, baby.
So, killing Cyan, reviving him, sets up his retort glitch. It's been mostly known for a while, known as Psycho Cyan, that involves that and imping him, and he just goes nuts. This is a kind of watered down version, to where reviving him and then retorting from there, anything that's physical will set up the retort. So in this case, the pummel did it. Retort's really strong, and then because the game freaks out from you just doing that and doing hella damage, the boss just dies instead of going through the long boss animation. So it ends up being faster if you do it right, because of the animation alone. And the setup takes a long time, but because in this specific case you have to sit and wait before you can spawn Rise of Pass anyway, it works out nicely. We'll see it one more time though on Dataluma. That's very new, so I honestly I don't know how that's gonna go, but we're gonna try it because it's the right thing to do. So manipulation, I think, really started with here, the Velt. Normally your first encounter is the Templar Soldier battle, which you cannot run away from. It takes forever to kill them all, and you can get Gao, and you don't have the dried meat yet, so you have to waste your time with that as well. It turns out your Velt encounters can be manipulated just like with the rest of the game. And so, again, part of the manipulation we use is to get really good encounters. It might seem like the pincer is not a great encounter, and in a way it's not, but it's easy to kill, and Gao will only show up under certain circumstances. If someone's dead, he won't show up. If someone's, I think, even poisoned, he won't show up. He will not show up on a back attack or a pincer. And then there are certain packs he just doesn't show up on either. So this is all manipulated to get me easy runaways for the most part. So that I don't even have to worry about Gao showing up. And then my next encounters are all really fast. So we should ideally be able to get through here pretty quickly. That looks right. So we don't need all that junk. We're going to sell it. And it's going to help me buy smoke bombs and whatnot later. And we're going to get our dried meat so we can pick up Gao here. So my encounters should be a single ghost and then a single bomb. Both of which I'll be able to kill with one turn, and then hopefully I don't get trolled and have Gao not show up both times, because then I'm basically owned. Yeah, so we have to hope for the next one. You have to farm encounters from there. The next encounter after this is 2 guards, 2 bow mammoths, which take a long time to kill, and he might not even show up anyway. So we just have to really hope we get it here, or else I lose like a minute and a half. Classic.
So what's the chance that he shows up if it's that simple?
50%.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, it kind of messes up my step route from here too. So it's just bad all the way through now. It's really unfortunate. And that's pure RNG. There's nothing I could do. We got him. If you're hungry, man, why don't you show up earlier, dude? Eat a dick. You can eat a dick. So we got like a long, like 2-minute cutscene. The only nice thing about this one is, well, in particular, but in general, with FF6, if there's dialogue in a battle, you can hold A. So I can just sit here and relax, whereas in any other cutscene, if it's anywhere else outside of the battle, you have to mash. The good news is that we're well on our way to 420 pace, as I continually lose time everywhere.
Kenny and G.
Kenny G, dude.
Oh man.
That worked out unbelievably well. It's not even right. I'm gonna change the party order just for that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, are they in the right order?
Actually, I think they are already.
Hey, Kenny G.
Should be A Kenny G. Good lord, dude.
That moonwalk, though.
Yeah, I love that moonwalk.
I'm gonna safety save before the trench too. The trench is probably the biggest RNG crapshoot in the entire run, especially since you manipulate the river and whatnot. There's 4 encounters I'm gonna get, all of which can be really dangerous or time-consuming just to run away from. I can actually wipe if I get really unlucky, so we'll see what happens. We really don't want to see a single angle form. When they're by themselves, they have a 1/3 chance of casting Aqua Rake, which will probably kill the entire party. Even if it doesn't, it'll leave me at low enough health that the next encounter, if they get attacks on me, I'll die. Kenny G.
Kenny G.
There it is. You don't want a 5-pack because that's hard to run away from. And then you can get pincered as well, and they're not necessarily super dangerous, but if you get one of those jellyfish things, they can cast Numbspine on you, which stops you, and you have to sit there and wait for it to wear off before you can run away. And you typically lose like another minute or so there. So obviously the God Trench is you just going through and getting 4 preemptives and running away. At this point, I'm just hoping I don't get like the 2 insanely bad things, which means it's probably going to happen.
Well, it'll let one of us breathe underwater.
No, they all stick their heads in the same one.
I think so.
Let's go.
Hopefully all facing outward.
No, of course not.
Oh, my bad. I've never shared a helmet before, so I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe tonight, though.
Kenny and Crack.
With Kenny and Crack, yeah. Little big sandwich with Kenny and Crack. So we're gonna go right and then go left. We're gonna enter one short cave portion, and then if you go right the second time, you enter another cave portion that you don't get encounters in, but the cave is really, really long. So it's actually faster to just go through 2 encounters and pray than to actually walk through all of it. Even if you know where to go, which I definitely don't. Alright, so that's a fine start. I think it's the Aspic, that's the one that can Numbspine you.
It's where that little guy can cast like Bolt 3 or something, or
Yeah,
something ridiculous.
he
by
can.
himself, or if he gets hit or something.
It's a counter attack.
Just surprisingly out of nowhere, enemies here have this different AI. Up until now, it's been pretty basic.
Yeah. Nice.
A Kenny G coming through in the clutch.
A Kenny G. Okay, so 2 angle forms means that it's not in their AI to Aqua Rake, so that's cool, but 2 angle forms are actually, for whatever reason, really, really hard to run away from. So even though there's only 2, and normally 2 wouldn't be that bad, as you can see, I'm having a grand old time here.
So every encounter formation has a set like run value that's like a difficult run value sort of thing?
Absolutely, yeah, that's exactly
So
how it
anyway,
works.
It's like formation based.
You're absolutely right, yes. It's usually pretty basic, just more enemies, more difficulty. But in that case, like, that 2 angle form is as hard to run away from as a 5-pack. Or nearly. Gonna buy an Elmagus hat to pump up Terra's magic later. Gonna buy echo screens for slots, green cherries for... actually, I can afford a couple more. Oh, that was too many. That's fine, whatever. And buy some smoke bombs. Green cherries are for glitching later on. And now we're going to move on to lock scenario. Every scenario now, because we share the same inventory, benefits from those smoke bombs, so I will not have to worry about bad running away for the most part. We're going to see our first purposeful NPC clip here too. I don't know if one of you guys want to talk, or at least describe it.
Sure. So, originally when you play through this, you have to go through all the buildings, you have to save Celis, steal all kinds of different clothing from different people, etc., so on and so
Bring the old man
forth.
his cider.
Bring the old man his cider, yes. And here, we're already at South Figaro. And that's done by going into the menu and clipping through that NPC. And if you time it right, you're able to walk onto the same tile that the NPC is on and just run through them. And normally, for a run like No Sketch, where Celis is absolutely 100% important to the run, you would have to go in and trigger the cutscene where you see her for the first time and name her in order to make sure her character data gets initialized. But we don't need that. We don't need her in this run at all. So we don't care. We just leave.
Preemptive, nice.
The game handles it surprisingly well, too.
So we're gonna make a little detour here for a Thunder Rod. This is one of the dungeons that if you actually save, if you actually just don't get items, then every return visit they change the items to something better. So even if I left this here and, you know, casually, then I came back here in the World of Ruin, then the item would be even better than the Thunder Rod. I don't remember what it is, but I'm gonna grab it because, as per usual, I guess starting with 5, you can use a rod as an item, and it does.
Super OP.
It will ignore magic defense and do like the max damage level 2 spell. And so, like, you would think normally coming through here and fighting tunnel armor with lock is suicide, because you don't have runic and things like that, but you don't need it. And now we talk to Phantom,
Again, who are you?
and then just bop him with the Thunder Rod.
See every time.
Easy every time. Get an elixir, which I will be using later as well, as part of the glitch. So here's a little bit of RNG coming again. We're back on the river, and it's basically not manipulatable real time. It'd be really, really hard, because you have to remember it's not just like seed and step route, it's also NPC movement. So try to do that on a real-time basis is ridiculous. So I can get either 1 or 2 or 3 encounters here. Obviously, the less of them, the better. At this point, not even just for time, obviously that counts for a lot, but for smoke bombs as well. As I mentioned before, if I don't get like a handful of preemptives, then I could be in trouble with my amount. And And this is one way to try to preserve some. Well, but I got all 3, so. And I know you're asking, well, if you're that worried about smoke bombs, why don't you just run away from them? And you just gotta remember that Bannon doesn't run away from anything. So, you really just gotta use the smoke bombs. Sheesh. So this is just pretty rotten luck.
The first enemy pack of the game.
Yeah. I remember thinking, like, on a 2-pack, it's like, that's not that bad, right? You know, and it is that bad. The only time you might try to run away with Bannon if there's a single enemy. So here we just gotta get through the last scenario. I find it the absolute most boring. I really hate this scenario. So you're really just going through hoping that you get a bunch of preemptives or something, you know? There's really just not a whole lot special going on here. Here we go.
Why is there a T-ban on crack? Did I miss something?
T-ban and crack. Yeah, there's only one little trick here that was one of the things that stood out to me the first time I ever watched the speedrun. Because my memorizing ability is actually really, really bad. And normally you're supposed to watch the path once and then trace the same path, or else you screw up and have to get a new encounter and then it starts you over. And it used to just frustrate me as a youngin'. It turns out you don't have to actually do any of that at all. So what I'm going to do is follow it for a bit, and then I want to take the direct route. Now you normally have to try to time hitting A with the gold light, and then it'll let you get away with it. And if you don't do that, you get into the encounter. But it turns out you can just hold A.
Whoa.
And then once, yeah. So once the gold light gets to you, you automatically tag it correctly. Which, it was like the greatest thing ever to me the first
Be
time.
facing up only for that.
Yeah, so, or no, it doesn't matter, but in this case you want to be facing up so you can just move on right away. Alright, so we've gotten like 3 preemptives, so that's fine. Another couple and Zozo, and then we're totally cool.
So we're coming up on, after the 3 scenarios are done, we're coming up on what's called the Kefka at Narsh battle, where it's another one of those 3 character battles where you have people running towards you, you have to like kind of maneuver your way around them, and then you fight Kefka. And for those people who are watching, they're like, oh, hey, you know, I might be interested in speedrunning this game. This looks kind of cool. This bit guy's pretty cool.
No one says that.
Oh yeah,
second part.
no one's thinking that.
Okay, well, nobody's thinking that.
It was way go up until that.
We're actually doing a Kefka at Narsh speedrunning tournament for this game. The category basically ends when we defeat this boss right here. You go through the beginning of the game, you go through the 3 scenarios, and then you fight Kefka in this upcoming battle, and then that's the end of that's where we cut off the races, basically. And there's a tournament going on. You can check out the SDA forums. There's a link with rules and everything, and we currently have 84 participants in this tournament.
It's huge.
And hopefully, by the shameless plug, we can get a couple of more. It'd be really, really freaking cool if we got up to like 128 and had one of those perfect bracket tournaments go down. But so if anybody's actually interested in learning the speedrun, I know the LCC has already put out tutorial videos just for up to the Kefka at Narsh run. There are a couple of like minor optimizations you can do because you don't need items for past that point. And it's going to be a really good time. You know, it's me, the Roth, Elmegus, Catastrophic 4, and Poexel putting things together. So if you're interested or you have any questions about entering the Kefka at Narsh tournament, I'm sure some of them are in chat right now. And feel free to ask and feel free to enter. and that's gonna start probably the beginning of November. So you got a couple of weeks yet to register if you're on the fence.
This is General Kutan.
General
Yes.
Kutan.
General Kutan.
So that's the fallout of not naming Celes. Instead, you get Kutan. Just because of how the game uses the characters. I guess they're having trouble with memory, so I mean there's 14 playable characters. So to do the Mog or the Moogle battle, they have I think how it works is they have all the Moogles in slots, and then when you name characters, it basically overwrites whatever Moogle was there with that character. So since we never actually named Celes, it just gives you the character that was in that slot, which ends up being Kutan.
And man, Kutan is the worst. Like, the build stats are terrible. You can't give her any equipment or anything like that. She's really just dead weight. But but I mean, it's still a far better option than taking the time to get Celes. So you just don't need her. She's absolutely key in no sketch, but for here we don't care. So we will use Kutan. Yeah, do think about joining the FF6 tournament. Every run's going to be right around an hour and a half of your time. LCC does have a tutorial, as Nerm said, and there's a handful of runners around who know what they're doing.
And I also want to point out there's a lot that really don't. Like, I would say probably about half the people that signed up have never tried a Final Fantasy VI speedrun, so you wouldn't be alone in being new to what's going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know the FF4 race was super successful.
Yeah. A lot of people learned it for FF4.
There was a lot of tight races. You know, just as a viewership was awesome. People were really into it. I was into it. So excited for that FF6 stuff. So people in chat drop some like relevant links to rules, sign a page, tutorial that is whatever. It'd be cool to see a bigger turnout.
So there will be no bum rushing past guys here. We're just gonna dodge them. There is a method to save 7 seconds. That's really hard to do, and if you don't get it, you lose a minute. So
seems like a good trade-off.
Oh shoot! I didn't do my menu.
Hey, Kenny G crack.
All right, we'll see if this is Rider percent.
Crack Kenny G.
It is Rider percent.
Yeah, you only got the Rider.
I was too early.
Big Choke X5. So yeah, you can easily, if you just let him walk past, you can just kind of walk by him. But obviously, we're speedrunners. You want to get past this. You want to walk past him as fast as possible. But the Rider, if you touch him, it'll initiate this battle. Not a huge deal. I mean, he's a pushover.
Yeah.
It's just obviously
it's a time loss. Nice remedy though. Good ATV though.
So we're going to be seeing more of the weight trick here. You don't want if you let Keffa get enough turns. I forget how many.
I left it on active, didn't I?
Oh. No, I thought you switched it back.
Did I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you switched it back.
Okay, good. I did, yeah, you're right.
If you let Kefka get enough turns, he'll ice to you. And you don't want to get iced to.
No.
So we use the weight trick to minimize his turns. Kill him before he gets to that
Yeah, we're
point.
fine.
Still sub 130.
All that and still sub 130.
Still sub 130.
So gives you an idea of the times you can get for this. That was honestly really awful, but still sub 130. My best time for this segment using this exact route, like no optimizations for just that segment, is 127.07. So I'm almost 3 minutes off of that. It's about a minute from Gao, 40 seconds from the rider, and just other random crap. I guess soon we'll hear everyone's favorite sound effect.
Everyone's favorite
Dude,
sound effect.
it is the best.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The best. I love this because Gao's just chilling.
Yeah.
Like hanging on with one arm.
Okay.
Now we have Kutan here to comfort us.
So you can continue the whole game with Kutan now? Like, you don't see any Cella sprites anymore.
You do, unfortunately, yeah, because
I
there's...
was wondering about the opera.
Exactly, that's exactly
Dude,
why.
if only you could have
Yeah.
Kutan during the opera.
Because she normally gets a sprite change anyway, it'll still change her sprite to Opera Celis, and then it'll change her sprite back to normal Celis. But it's all cosmetic. It's still Kutan.
Oh, it is.
Still named
Still
Kutans. Yeah, still as bad as Kutan. Like, still can't do anything with them.
Oh, yeah, no abilities at all. Just attack items.
Oops.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing elixir there for the glitch. The party is basically designed to bring my damage dealers. And then we're going to loot the storehouse. Mostly for stuff to sell, but there's a couple of useful things in there, like Sneak Ring and the gold.
Cracklekenny.
Cracklekenny, dude. This is working out too well, dude. So I'm still gonna walk the same way that I did, just because it takes advantage of encounterless tiles, but not, like, I'm not on any kind of step route really at this point anymore. But you still want to walk well. You're gonna deal with the Sabin cutscene, but you still definitely want them.
So for this part, if Edgar's in your party, they say that they'll give you a discount, but if Edgar's not your party leader, you don't actually get the discount. So for this part, you need to make sure that he's your party leader. And those tinctures are for later as well, the stand up the sketch glitch.
Yep. I feel like I'm doing pretty good with money, so I might actually just buy some extra Phoenix Downs. Yeah. How many did I buy? 9? 9's pretty good. Let's roll with that. Oh, theoretically, we'll see fast airs coming up here as well. Yeah. For whatever reason, on a screen transition going downstairs, as you come downstairs, you walk kind of slow. But if for a couple, I forget how many frames, you're holding up or down against the rail, and then you go downstairs, you'll maintain your normal movement speed with sprint shoes. So It ends up just being, you know, a tiny bit faster because you have to take the time to hold up or down, but I always feel good when I get it.
Makes him feel like a real speedrunner.
Yeah. We're also going to make a little detour here, going up, even though normally you'd go south to get to Zozo and make that giant U-turn. We're going to stop by this old man's hut to grab the hero ring, and there's a hidden chocobo forest right next to him anyway, and we can take that all the way without dealing with encounters. Cracklekenny. And that trick to close the menu to save save frames only applies to battles you actually win, not battles you run away from. So you won't see me messing around with that. Normally we would do a menu here, but we're gonna try some new strats and hope for the best.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna hold off on menuing till I get the fire knuckle. The longest chocobo ride in the game, I think, so aside from the World of Ruin one, which we won't do. So enjoy your chocobo booty for a while.
Oh, I will.
Doesn't seem like riding a chocobo is that much faster than walking, but I guess it's just the encounters.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
encounters. That is where it's at. And you get the rocky music. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with the lock clip. Like if you steal merchant clothes for lock, and then do the clip, lock still wears merchant clothes, and when you get on the chocobo with lock as the leader, the game gets really confused because you're not supposed to have merchant clothes on lock. So the sprite gets really weird.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You like turn into different sprites in the animation where you ride around the hut before you leave. You turn into a ghost.
You turn into a ghost.
And then it can't load your sprite data for whatever reason, so you're like the top of your head and like the bottom of your feet or something like on the chocobo.
It's amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
So there's one encounter we don't want to see in Zozo, and it's the same type of deal with the Angloforms. There's a slam dancer. If she's accompanied by other enemies, it's nice. Got the clip. If she's accompanied by other enemies, she's fine. If she's alone, she gets really, I guess, intimidated and has a chance to, I think, fire 2?
She can do level 2 for all of them.
Oh, yeah. So, but she can use level 2 spells, which is really bad, and you do not want to see that happen.
Yeah, like with everybody at full or near full, probably what'll happen if that happens to me is I'll have one person alive at like critical health, maybe 2. So it's really bad to have that happen. Nice.
But preemptive.
So I got the encounter, but thankfully with the preemptive I can just leave. So that's really nice. I might just get it again here. Okay. So I don't have to worry about that if she's with cronies. And you only really have to worry about her inside, so if I'm outside, then I'm fine. If I'm inside, then I risk getting that encounter. And I can normally count on 1 or 2 and mostly knowing where they're gonna be if I were on step route, but I'm not, so... Okay, so that's really lucky that she picked only one person to obliterate. So that's fine. I'll pick him up later when I do the menu. Oh dear. My ATB wasn't even bad on the first time,
Yeah,
too.
it was good ATB the first time.
Hers was just better.
So I think this is pretty common in the ATV games, but both the enemies and the player characters all start with kind of a random range between like, I don't know, 40 and like 99% or something ATV, right? Something like that here?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Alright, I gotta make sure I remember the entire menu here.
So what Vic is trying to do here is a new strat. Similar to what happened in Welk, he's going to be using the Cyan Retort glitch.
Hello?
As well as the an AI bug with countering.
It's tricky. It's pretty tricky for this battle, though, and it's fairly new.
Okay, we're not gonna be able to do it then. That's unfortunate.
I don't think I've ever seen it fail quite like that before.
Yeah. Oh, you know why? I did forget a menu. I needed to take off Cyan's gear, which will basically ensure that he dies. So now we're just kind of in a lot of trouble. Nice.
Just use desperation attack. Easy peasy every time.
Easy every time. I knew I forgot something. Every time I sit there like that, it's like, what did I do wrong? But I can never replace it.
So you can't say you couldn't set do retort again and try to kill him the second time.
I could, but
It's just at that point not worth it.
basically,
He has bad experiences with trying to do that. We'll just say.
it's fine. I skipped this potion phase at least. No. Dude, locks an animal. Should be dead soon. So it basically would have followed the same thing as the Razzle Pass. You would trigger basically 3 retorts and it would just own Dataluma. But it didn't quite work out because equipment and damage rolls. It could have happened, like obviously he was close to dying, but that's also what happens when you, that's like my 3rd attempt at doing it, so.
ABC.
Save Kieran. Or kill Kieran. Donate today.
I don't care how much money you give me, dude. We're leaving Kieran.
Level Thump. Magus Floor 2. Never understood why these don't actually have a person saying them. They're just floating text boxes.
It's because your party can be whoever, so they don't have they have no guarantees as to who's in the party, and I'm assuming I guess they didn't really have a way to do it by slot. Or maybe they didn't want Gao saying something profound.
Like he does after this cutscene. That's probably my first regret of this run is that strat. Everything else I don't really care about, but at least Cyan taught Sabin a real lesson.
He really did.
There's a silver lining.
That's just the new strat to get desperation attacks on 2 characters.
There you go. The new meta. Desperation attacks on all bosses. until Setzer. Can you imagine?
That'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing.
It's kind of like the one main factor for that fight, aside from your own execution, is you kind of hope Cyan walks in not quite with full health. And that way it wouldn't have even mattered what I did or didn't do, but you can definitely just take off his gear to make it more guaranteed. I just don't quite have the memory down for that menu quite yet. Thankfully, or not thankfully, I have like 2 more marathon runs of this to do, so one of them. I think one of the most people's gripes about speedrunning this game are times like these. Just like heavy cutscenes. And this is not even like the worst at all by a long shot, but there are a lot of them.
Rip.
Press F. Return.
Let's talk on the way. I always like talking to Gao there, just because you just pretend he's the one saying that shit. Okay, nice merchant. It's almost break time. I can go to the bathroom. I think the main thing I have to remember here is earrings on Edgar. I think I should be okay with everything else. Now we get espers. Let's put those on. Let's do earrings. And I think that's it. Espers, Rose. Sabin already has Genji Glove on. I think that's good. Well, this whole line, a lot of it is an encounter list, so you can typically get through here.
Nice.
With like one encounter, maybe, or two. I'm just gonna make a quick pit stop and get those earrings. There we go.
When did that become part of the route?
Maybe a week or two ago. Yeah, like 2 weeks. You want to try it quickly as you can. Talk to him from the top, or else it will pull you from the bottom or side to the top, and it's a tad faster if you do it well on your own.
Kotan looks just like Maria.
Yep. Look at that face. Same with the letter here from the bottom.
You born on a bomb, son? That looks like a duck fist to me.
Do I just put duck, or do I try to fit it all in?
Duck.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. That's the funny part. World famous duck. Let's set up a meeting. Oops. I think my potion count kind of sucks, so I'm kind of hoping to get some from the rats without having to use any because of the rats. It's going to be the next hope here. Probably should have saved it, but oh well.
Yeah, those opera choices are really hard.
They are. You never know with the 5 rat pincer, man. I wonder if you can leave with lock. That's fine. We don't have to worry about it. Let's be positive, man.
That's the worst that can happen.
We run. Just killed a run 2 hours early. No big deal. We're behind schedule anyway, right? Just means we get to party 2 hours earlier.
That's what's up.
Two more hours of blitzball, man.
Also true.
So who's singing opera?
No one.
I think that's gonna be Yoshi right
We're gonna put Kylie takes us on a date on on the computer,
See?
Oh,
and we're gonna do that.
I was in Rio once this year. I had my time in the spotlight.
Nero was already impresario. Alright. I'll be back.
Alright, Yoshi. Put Yoshi up here.
He's got this.
Come on. There we go. That's Ben. Alright.
It's all you guys.
Topper time.
You can be the stars. This is your story.
By all means.
What is going on here? Oh, Yoshi's playing now.
Tell me Dallin is gonna be Maria then.
What?
That's all I
Dylan's gonna be Maria.
that's all I need.
Oh, you wish.
We need someone right now.
Don't need to be on the couch now.
All right, Nern, it's your turn.
What?
You're Maria.
I am not Maria now.
You're a dog dick. What? You want me to lie to you?
Oh.
Oh, Maria. There you go.
Oh.
You got it.
Oh,
Let's do Velociraptor.
Velociraptor the musical.
Right? Please hear my voice.
Beautiful. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 8 out of 8.
Wood. Opera again.
Keep going. Now I long
Go.
to be with you.
That's not. It's close enough.
Yeah, boy, good. Who's Maria, though?
Dill.
Down.
Down.
What?
Dill.
No.
Down is the perfect Maria.
No way.
Deucer couldn't be here, so.
It's
He's conveniently absent. Imagine that.
yeah.
I was like, upper guys, and like, oh, okay.
Alright, Crack, it's your turn to shine.
Look at Dallin,
I'll
dude.
be narrator. That's about it.
Hey, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, you did now. You came up here.
Yeah, I guess.
Better check the score.
Alright, Dylan. This is it.
Dude, I'm not
Alright,
down.
down.
Alright, down.
Down.
I didn't sing.
The forces of the West fell, comma, and Maria's castle was taken, dot. Prince Rawls. Question mark of the East.
I was Maria like 2 times already.
Alright, go for it.
Did somebody say Prince Rouse?
The next line is
Alright.
I got this.
Do it!
Slurpees, Maria?
Oh, my hero, so far away now. Will I ever see your smile? Will I ever away like night into day? It's just a fading dream. I'm the darkness.
Dankness.
Darkness. You're the meanest. Brighter than the sun.
I see Craigasm in the chat here.
Craigasm.
For eternity, for me there can be only you, my Prince Rouse.
Prince Rouse. Nice.
Must I forget you? Our solemn promise. Will autumn take the place of spring? What shall I do? I'm lost without you. Speak to me once more.
Or else. No tune.
Glowy guy.
Glowy guy.
Draco.
That's not Prince Rouse? What is this?
Right? You didn't sign up for this, right?
Ha ha ha.
Get up on the couch, Slurpee. This is your moment to shine.
Give him Yoshi for the bouquet, man.
Hold me, Draco.
There you go.
Yeah.
Since I did Draco.
Problem is he's off camera. He's too tall.
We must part now. My life goes on, but my heart won't give you up. Yeah, walk away. Let me hear you say I meant as much to you. Dot dot dot. So gently you touch my heart. I will be forever yours. Come what may, I won't age a day. I'll wait for you, Prince Rouse.
This guy's going off script.
Oh, you gotta redo the whole thing.
Reset. Change all the seats.
Ultros Boogie.
Ultra.
Yeah. That's what's up. We have 2 Ultros Boogies and 2 Dream Teamers here. What team were you on?
Team Rouse, son.
Alright, you're the singing.
That was like the OG.
He's the
When I
OG.
was one and done, Team Rouse.
I'm on Team Setzer.
That would be
I
Team
just
Duck.
love that conductor, dude. He is getting it so fucking hard. It's blasphemy.
What time measure is?
99.
It's 4x-cat resolution.
4Cat is the best resolution.
I fucking hate Skype, dude. I never remember.
Poor cat.
Yeah.
Poor cats.
Jam up your opera.
What? Yeah!
Let's go.
Drivers of the West.
Rip headphone users.
Possible.
Microphone.
Where's our Rouse?
Yeah, who's Prince Rouse?
Just gonna bump into each other.
Deuce?
You said your team Rouse.
Yeah.
Yep, so is Dylan, dude. I'm not too else. Dream team.
Alright. Maria.
Drago! Ow. It's so long. I knew you'd come.
They'll say.
Yeah.
That's Christ's line.
So nobody's Rouse then?
Fuck Rouse.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, I'll keep you near.
Tis a duel.
It's a dude.
Exclamation point.
Done.
There's an echo.
I'm an octopus. I'm gonna wreck the whole scene.
Crack stash. Crack and Kenny stash.
So you named one of the characters after me. Which one?
It was
Edgar.
That guy right there.
There's Crack.
King. He's the king.
Well, he knows how to fuck. That's why I named him after you.
I forgot how to fuck.
Oh shit. Well, now I regret it.
Reset.
Nice. Good damage roll.
Crack LA.
Crack LA. Nice.
I miss like Kenny G.
Like Kenny G was good. What was the other one? Crackle Kenny?
Crackle Kenny.
Wait, which one's Kenny?
Science.
Cyan.
Of course he is.
Ah.
I'm waiting for a Kenny G crack.
For that.
Dude.
But who's Gal?
Down.
Guy was G.
Jesus
actually.
G.
Oh, I'm stupid. Yeah.
So you can skip, or you can avoid these battles, but we need to learn some magic anyhow. So killing them for the magic points.
Uh-oh. Yep. No! Okay, there we go. Sometimes it locks your cursor and you can't select the ones you want to actually kill. It's really annoying.
Just flash everybody.
That's right. And we're going Ramulus. Let's do this.
Ramulus.
Crack's got the drill.
Well, we need the Sabin crit, man. That's all we need. Otherwise, someone's gonna die.
That's Rouse time.
Ross got wrecked too.
It's Ultras's time to shut.
Yeah.
Gets with Maria.
Ultros is like, hey, I've got 8 appendages.
This is a Japanese game.
That's FF5, man. Not this one.
best boss in the game.
It's like the only spot on plays too.
No crit. Oh man, someone's dead.
Almost 420 too. So this boss is weird. He'll move around to different spots.
Oh, he lived. What are the odds of that?
If you give it enough time, which Sabin being behind him, doing
Adios,
more
Turbo
damage
Man.
is pretty just wrecks him pretty quick.
It's barely slower, or if it's even slower, it's barely slower than going in the menu and putting Ramu on, doing that. So, and if you crit with Sabin at least once, then you're pretty much guaranteed to just kill him.
Duck luck. I missed that one. Little do I know, she's a Moogle.
And that conductor's still just like going.
Jamming out.
Yeah, the conductor's like, the show goes on.
Duck will deal with you in a minute.
Is that all it takes?
I'll be right back, baby. You're a Moogle.
Oh well, I've had worse.
Apparently, Nerm's had worse. Don't worry, Duck is coming. We can get some more. We can get more sticky white stuff for Square Wave after
More C
that.
shots.
Use it to zip, baby.
Use it to zip.
Video games are the best, man. Fucking Duck.
Duck all over Kutan.
Do you get the Celis walking up to Edgar thing if he's not in the party?
Good question. I've never not used him.
Yeah, I've never not had Edgar. I always have it in my party.
Like, I basically always had the brothers because Tools and Blitz are amazing.
Yeah, same.
Oh, cool.
Hustle.
Good hustle, Duck.
Hustle.
Hustler. I can't help.
You know who else likes to hustle?
John Cena.
Do 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 do.
As you guys can tell, the memes are very strong today.
This is MemeCon 2015.
No, it's not.
I'll make a stand of now.
Don't let your cons become memes.
Let your memes be dreams. Nothing is possible. Just give up.
Killer concert in Vector.
Right?
Mastodon's playing.
Hopefully they have that same conductor.
Right.
Also some
Top mode 7 height.
This game definitely puts the mode 7 to the test.
Yeah.
I like how like there's this epic like you're approaching Vector, but then you still have to like walk like 3 miles to get there.
It's surrounded by mountains. You don't see any of the mountains in that.
Yeah.
Mode 7 acknowledges you so much.
What do I even need to do here, man? I have no idea. I literally have no clue. We're gonna go with that. Oh, I know what it is now.
Shouts to Ralph.
Crackle Kutan.
Z, yeah. There it is.
I didn't say that.
Oh! Yo, 2 potions. Good times.
These guys just like hanging out in
Why so serious?
Oh yeah, this old man's great. I love this guy.
Just like that.
Get out of here.
Toss.
Toss it all.
I'm good at tossing it. Oh.
It's like reverse Pokemon.
Okay. Now I get it.
Now.
Okay.
Pseudo cleverness. Takes it.
Where am I? There I am.
You're in Texas?
I see.
I'm imagining this being a musical and all the robots are like clinking machinery and it makes the sound and they're singing along to it. F6 themes.
Starring a bunch of scrubs.
Fuck out of here.
Go, bitch.
No. Oh,
The
that pipsqueaks. Shouldn't have done that rat battle.
Yep.
And I'll be safety saving here for sure.
This next boss fight is a little interesting. It's scripted. They're scripted to basically switch between the two espers after a certain number of hits. After you hit Ifrit 5 times, they'll switch to Shiva. And they're bosses. You can't run away from bosses. But in the switch, it actually removes, because there aren't any enemies on screen, it removes the can't run flag. So during the transition, you're actually able to run away. Rip Kutan.
That's ideal. That was a little fast though. Alright, fine.
And the game assumes that you won.
Wow, you're good. Your team now.
My help, he could be the best.
You are strong. ... exclamation mark. I also don't like Ifrit, so we're leaving. His family sucks anyway.
It is cousin May yet. Redeem them.
I'm not gonna worry about Break Blade, but if I don't steal Rune Edge, then I need a reminder to get the Tempests.
God, Dead Cells is just for Kutan. It's just a pile of hair.
Beaver there.
Number 24.
Dragon rolls along.
This guy is not immune to sleep.
No, he is not.
Say cheese, dude.
That'd be too easy. What kind of feedback?
This is the guy that changes like weaknesses.
Yeah, he
right?
changes
And he
weaknesses.
starts off with no weaknesses until the first time he does it.
I believe that is correct.
It's because you're speaking like it doesn't matter. Speed run, sleep, done.
Oops, what am I doing?
Sleep through the whole thing.
Let's go find this guy.
So this is the guy you steal the ring light from?
Yeah.
Ideally.
Yeah, it's over. He should be dying soon, so.
Oh, Locke can get his turn first.
It's a time waster, but let's do it. Ow. Oh my
Trainer!
god, dude, please.
Traitor's the rare steal.
And it sells for one.
Sells for 1. Like mini rare steals in this game.
This
So this is
motherfucker, dude.
another one of the cases where you definitely want the common steal.
Grab Tempest, buddy.
Thanks. Thanks, man. This MFer.
Raincoat Sid.
Yep.
Trojan man.
Oh god. I can't unsee it.
Yeah. Way to ruin my favorite Final Fantasy.
I'm sorry, Farrell. It's my favorite too.
Now we're just gonna let him die.
I'll like it in spite of that.
General Coot. Oh shit.
I don't know what spell that is.
Palador.
Should I just do my menuing now?
Of course.
JK.
It's the best time to do it.
I have to save anyway, so. Lest I get Atomic Raid again. Alright, so we need Shout, we need Sneak Ring, Running Shoes, a Crackle.
Crackle.
So what encounters I get on the minecart is actually set by who my party leader is, so that's why we switch it over to Sabin. His is more ideal. And then Edgar's ATB is really crappy, but he's really important. So we're going to give him running shoes, and then we're going to give Locke the sneak ring, which is kind of like a poor man's running shoes for him. And then we're just gonna farm some magic points and a little bit of money here. Mostly magic points.
I remember as a kid, I got stuck on this sequence for the longest time.
Dang. Cool. The magic route is also very specific for the sketch glitch. The magic route's a little different if you're doing no sketch. There will be some similarities though, especially for Locke. He has to actually learn specific spells so that when he learns Remedy later on, it gets put in a very specific slot in his magic menu. If it were in the wrong slot due to me having not the right spells, I wouldn't be able to do the sketch glitch, at least not the version we want to do. So everything is actually pretty planned out here as far as what he learns. Either because you actually need it, like sleep and slow, or because a certain spell is required. In this case, Remedy is the one. It's one of the random variables for it. So here's Stratus to use Shout, which I believe uses Break, and it should take out the arms. Unfortunately, it missed one, which is crappy. It actually hits both quite often, and then none pretty rarely, but it does happen. Hello. Thank you.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's okay. I was able to not use any potions, so that's nice. Okay, I'll safety save here just in case. This will be our first debut of duck slots here, so.
Do you remember seeing
Duck slots.
countdown? Oh yeah, the slots. Yeah, right after cranes. Mess those up.
Good luck on your chocobo.
Nope.
Oh, about to joke about it.
I was watching Countdown the other day, and I was like, I guess I'll take the safety save, and of course, the slots didn't have the backup strat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely recoverable-ish, depending on what cranes decide to do from there. But obviously, you want it first time.
The backups for slots can get kind of complicated.
But I don't have any backups if I mess up the backup, so there's that.
90s game.
Good old cranes. Such an odd boss.
But the airship just can't fly away.
Yeah,
I know.
it's the longest reaching cranes of all time.
Let's see what Duck's got.
Alright, let's do it. I got this. That's no problem.
So, Duck's special attack is slots, or special ability is slots. Has various outcomes. The one we want is Joker Doom, which happens when you get 777. 777 normally.
Ooh, that sucks though. Locke died. That sucks so
Locke
bad.
needs the magic points, so.
That sucks. Oh well.
Yeah, so 777 is only, you can only actually get it with, so there's different RNG values for slots. You can only actually get 777 Joker Doom a few different values, and at the beginning of the battle, basically actions you take will add, depending on what it is, it'll add some number. And it turns out that using Echo Screen will always set it to the value that allows you to get Joker Doom. And so you pause buffer the first one, and then the second and third ones, I think you have a 8 frame or something, 4 frame window. You don't actually have to get it on the 7, but it'll help you out basically to get the other ones.
Pretty much.
And then we don't see it in this run, but reverse Joker Doom using no sketch. You can do that with, no matter what the RNG value is, but you have to pause buffer, or you don't have to, but you want to pause buffer all 3 of them because it's not going to help you out for those ones.
Now it's time for Insta Baby.
Insta baby.
Well, close anyway. Yeah, the RNG value is hidden and it starts at the same value every time, and it's changed anytime you use something. For the most part, anything that has an animation will change the value a specific amount. So that could be tools, that could be certain items, that could be other slot abilities. Yeah. But in this case, Echo Screen gives you the value you want, since it starts with the same one every time, so it's all good. You can do a bunch of other stuff to get it back on the values if you mess it up. Kind of just depends.
The best mixes are the ones that involve Mugu Mugu.
Yeah, exactly.
Mugu Mugu is the best. Mugu Mugu?
Except in the speedrun. Then they're the worst. Well, for Kefka anyway.
I just like the attempt was like, okay, I missed this, so here's my long series of backups that includes like 3 empty slots.
Good stuff, baby.
First porn I ever watched right there.
I support a great puppy emperor.
Gestalzi.
Gestalzi. Yeah, I've always seen him as a dog. I've never not
I
seen
never
it.
saw him as a dog as a kid. Strangely enough. Of all the weird things that I've thought were the case, I never saw that.
Sorry. I mean, they went all crazy on Labos, right? Oh, butterfly face. It's like I can see where they're coming from, but like I don't like see it when I look at it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
sometimes it just doesn't work.
think my weirdest one, or like the one that like looking back is just like the stupidest, was Luca in Secret of Mana. I always thought that her chin was her mouth. I was like, dude, why does this chick have such a huge like grin? It's just so creepy. Next time you watch a Secret of Mana speedrun, that's what you're gonna see. But like now, I'm just like, dude, that's obviously her. It's obviously her chin.
Still the smallest 2-year-old I've ever seen in my life, dude. Who's still getting cradled around it too.
And bounces more than most of them as well.
Yeah.
This guy's half espers.
Just throw it out.
Take a
the
very
floor.
long, have a very long
There's the
maturity.
best Super Bowl impersonation.
Man. Hope y'all like cutscenes. We're in the good half. We're in the good half now.
This is the time to get raided by everybody, where it's cutscenes now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you're going to the boss fight? Here come all the viewers.
Yeah.
And there went all the viewers.
Oh boy. We're gonna get ever hate on tech here. It's gonna be glorious.
I'm not approaching that. I'll be a bad
The entire PC just shuts down.
This entire corner of the room just randomly explodes.
Huh. Interesting. Yep. So we're gonna roll through with Terra for the most part. She's gonna be the one with the awesome magic power to get us through the remaining bosses. Well, pre-sketch bosses anyway. That's why we want her. We're gonna bring Locke, 'cause he's gonna be around as well anyway. For
So you let him live here since he missed points on cranes?
yeah, I mean he'd be alive anyway, but I'm just kind of behind on progress now. I'm 4 points behind, which is a lot.
Live, I guess, in general. Since he runs away, he's basically dead.
Yeah. Now, no sketch, usually you want to pump Terra's levels up a lot. You want her to get from like 11 to 20 or something like that. So you usually have Locke run away so she gets all the experience. Pug percent. But in most cases here, even if he wasn't learning spells, which he is, we just don't care. She'll get level 16 no matter
Also
what.
support our puppy emperor, apparently.
Wonder who's here.
Maybe Gary finally showed up.
Okay, gonna pick up our last elixir. And then we got one little pit stop to make before we head to the next dungeon. Now, Unicorn teaches Remedy, but at a ×3 rate, whereas Seraphim, or Srathim, teaches it at ×4, so we're gonna make the detour to go get it, because it's still faster. Unfortunately, it doesn't make as big of a difference as I'd want it to, because we are behind, but still obviously worthwhile.
Oh, hi.
Sounds like Logos.
Yeah, it is. Who?
Logos.
Bad drainer though.
Drainer's still sticking around. Wow. Wow.
Wow, I was holding left the whole time. Like, that's...
Fuck are you, Waldo?
Good commentary.
Just get this over with.
So now the question I have to figure out is, do I want to farm extra battles here, or do I just...
The ghost.
Do I do it at the Flame House? Let's see. Look.
So, back when we visited Figueroa Castle, not too long ago, Bic bought a bunch of Revivifies. Because most of the enemies, or, well, all the enemies, once you get to certain screens, are undead. So we're just gonna use Revivifies that auto kills them. It's quite speedy.
You get the Tempest.
Yeah, don't forget the
Oh, yeah.
Tempest.
Don't forget the Tempest.
Hey, don't forget the Tempest.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I remember this part being annoying casually as well, because I just never kept track of this stuff very well, but
Gotta get those treasure chests.
you literally like hold right or down, basically. That's it. Oops, don't do that. You need the levels and you need the magic points, and they're easy to kill, so it's the best place to get some levels. Oh my god. People blowing up my phone, man.
Vic, I see you on the internet. Oh my god, you're famous!
No one knows that I do this.
I mean, it is on Twitch front page.
Have to heal again, though. That sucks. I still am kind of low level with bad gear, so we do want to make sure we limit the amount of attacks that get on me as much as I can control. We're going to do that by weight tricking the Revivifies. Usually you'll end up being fine. 3 more levels. So probably what I'll do is farm an extra battle or two, assuming I don't already have to do that, to catch my magic points back up. I think that's what I'll do. Because, you know, maybe I'll actually dodge some bombs, right? Right?
Good one.
Right?
Vic's got some legendary firehouses in his day. Probably the only one to have a hundo. gotta hit all those bombs.
I've never had a hundo. That's a lie.
That will change today.
Please, no, man. Dude, they hate Locke today. Have to heal him for a 3rd time. Bit of a puzzly dungeon too, with a lot of traps, but since I basically don't need any of the treasures, it doesn't matter. Even in no sketch, You grab a couple treasures on the way, but nothing tricky. They're just a bit out of the way. I think you just get an elixir and the Tempest that I got. So it should be 2 more battles for them to get 16. And then from there, yeah, I'll probably do 1 or 2 extra. Unless I don't have the
If you have the
Revivifys.
Revivifys.
Yeah.
These guys can't drop Revivifies.
Ings can, yeah.
Yeah. But
So what do I have now? 2?
Yeah,
you have 2.
Ooh. Okay, at least I'm 16. Alright, so I can only really do a double Zomboner. So if it's not that, then I'm just gonna
Boing.
leave. Oh well. We'll deal with the house then.
You're gonna get him anyway.
Probably. What's happening on this thing? Jesus. Hope y'all like cutscenes.
Someone starts getting good.
Is this one mine? Nice.
This battle. Battle.
This battle is the best. Supposed to go through a bit of a scene, and they even lock out the use of L and R so that you can't run away. Luckily, I kept some smoke bombs.
Keep him busy. Okay. Smoke
Oh, you actually got a turn though. It's cool. We'll go blurry screen again. It's all good.
Sadly, it doesn't make a noise like it does in FF1.
Ah, Gyre. What a boss, dude. What a boss.
That was an awesome run. Another Shiva.
What was that? What was that horse thing?
Isn't that Kieran?
That's the joke.
Nice. Nice.
I see.
What about those espers?
Right. Orb stones. Nice spot.
Oh yeah.
Alright, I made it. Oh, no, they don't do it during
Oh,
stairs.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Interested.
It's probably one of the just weaker aspects of the speedrun. I do enjoy it quite a bit, but man, that, like last hour, well not last, but it's like an hour-ish chunk towards the end. It's just brutal.
Yeah, you just get so many cutscenes.
Like normally when you'd be streaming, like that's when you definitely wish like your chat's active and or you're playing stupid YouTube videos or something, you know. Because it's like, oh, I played games for 5 minutes, then I gotta sit and watch for 10 minutes, you know. Other than that, it's a good run for sure. Popular game. Well, not for running, but in general. Maybe the tournament will spice things back up again.
Turn 'em up.
'Cause it's basically just Fathlow 23, and that's only if it's a weekend. And
Countdown.
Countdown, and then me.
Countdown 420.
Do we have more viewers than Caleb Hart?
What about Shikuku, man?
Good.
Well, he got rejected, man. He's not gonna play this game anymore. Maybe he will. I don't know.
That's Suikoden in 5.
Suikoden
RPG
5.
tournament number 3.
Oh God. No thanks on that one. Just another Chocobo forest hidden that I never knew about in my life.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Nope, I would have done that stupid long walk. That would have been awful. I think this is our last Chocobo ride too. That.
Alright, moment of truth.
You can get in front of him, but you can't get through the door until he does, so it doesn't really matter. And then you can leave and enter, and you don't have to follow him again. It saves you apparently like a third of a second.
Totally worth.
Alright, no magical journey for luck. That's good.
Yeah. I put that like right on my balls too. So that'll be nice. So normally the banquet's pretty freaking hectic if you're playing no sketch. You gotta talk to 23 out of the 24, you gotta do all the fights, you gotta do 2 bits of menuing. But not here. Here,
It's pretty chill.
you're gonna fight one guy, and then you're gonna do some menuing, and then you're gonna sit there for a while.
Does it make sense to get your magic points here then?
This is the only fight that gives you magic points, that's why you do it. None of the other fights do.
I see.
That would sure be nice, though. Since you have to sit here anyway, you'd probably ensure you would be done without bombs. That X potion's also handy for the glitch. I won't be using it for healing. Okay, gotta put Magus hat on. Gotta put Pale hairpin on. Backguard running shoes. Change my magic order. Do some menuing. all that jazz. I don't need no level 5s either. You can aim to do this fast, but I have to sit and wait anyway, so basically gonna take my time. Doesn't really matter. That's it, huh? That's it, huh? Okay.
So when do you shove down your knuckles?
Right now. Also moving my goggles down to slot 184. That's a setup, part of the setup for the glitch. Boom. Let's double check our work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Alright. So we're all set there. I'm gonna quickly check how I'm doing with my magic. 64 is awful. So I need 5 magic points, which technically I can't even get in the bomb house unless I get some 6 bomb packs. So that's pretty awful. Yeah. Oh well. So the number of variables for the glitch. The glitch is going to rewrite a lot of stuff and put a lot of items in my inventory, but it's going to mess with a couple of specific slots too. So we don't want our goggles being overwritten. We want them in a safe spot. That's where slot 184 is. We need the spell Remedy once I learn it in a specific order, so my spells that I learn are mapped out, as well as changing my magic order to that one so that it's in the correct slot. What else do we need to do?
Should do Diva Chocobo. The remaining 30 seconds.
No, thank you.
But they donated for it.
No, I'm sure they did.
Well, Magus donated $50.
And then
Put this towards the
having specific items to use on lock in a couple of battles also matters. That's why I have the tinctures, elixirs, green cherries, because all that stuff's gonna get used as well.
You're running out of time. Quick, talk to that guy. Oh, you're so bad at this game.
And because we don't need Charm Bangle, we don't have to talk to anybody, and I don't even have to care what answers I give. The only times I kind of need to care is for things that extend the banquet, so I need to not take a break and I need to not ask additional questions, which I sometimes fail to do because I'm not paying attention. I'm just smashing A because it's so boring sometimes. To the Empire.
Let him rot in jail.
Nope, execute him.
Oh, nice. Down for that?
Apologize again. Eh. So let's talk about the espers. We'll say okay. Otherwise I have to go through more dialogue. Definitely don't want to break. Normally you would take it in no sketch because you want to fight the guy on the top right, but we don't need to bother with that. So we're basically setting up the Thamasa portion, which is brutal as far as cutscene to gameplay ratio. Even the banquet itself barely counts as gameplay, I feel like. So we're gonna have to go through all these cutscenes, arrive at Thamasa, do some cutscenes, do the Flame House, that's cool. Then watch some cutscenes, then do Ultros, then watch some cutscenes for a while. and then we can actually start breaking the game. So it's called the sketch glitch, which means we have to have Realm in order to do it. So unfortunately for the run, you do have to play up to those 3 hours, or however long it is to get her. Unfortunately, there's no way to do this without her so far. There may come a day, though, where there's a shorter route is RTA viable. But right now, it's TAS only. But currently, there's a way to credit warp by dying 52 times in a row.
Yeah, you thought this was boring.
Yeah.
Can't imagine just sitting there. Oh, oh.
I feel like that's worse than stairs, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'd say so.
I didn't put my memory cursor on Warpstone. Oh well.
Reset.
Yeah.
True.
So normally you can't warp out of towns like that, but for whatever reason in the cafe specifically you can. It's just good programming there, I guess. Weed feeder. I don't really have to worry about smoke bombs, at least, because I'll probably have to fight all of the bombs I run into. So that's cool. We got our last little shopping trip-ish, at least as far as selling is concerned. I'm gonna sell all my junk, and I have to see where I'm at money-wise. I'm probably in a pretty bad spot. Atomics, please. Stupid drainer, dude.
That 1 GP.
That 1 GP. You don't even actually have to sell all the things that I'm selling to get enough money. Yeah, I definitely have enough money, but I'm gonna sell it anyway. It's just for making sure, being thorough. I only need about 21,000 after buying those things for the bare minimum, so... We need to buy 7 rods from Thamasa, 2 ice, 5 thunder, to kill bosses. 2 ice for Flame Eater, 5 thunders for Ultros. You want a 6-1 usually for the last boss. And if I have an extra and I run into the correct encounter, maybe I will use another Thunder Rod if I have it on some enemies. Just depends. Because the main thing is, even when things work out, you're basically guaranteed to need 2 magic points beyond what you get from Flame Eater. So you have to plan to get that from somewhere, and doing bombs is not exactly fast. But you also don't know what encounters you're going to get afterwards, so you might just end up getting screwed later on. Don't want that either. The old route with Unicorn, which taught Remedy ×3, really meant that you were like always way short of Remedy, and you actually had to fly over to the Phantom Forest and try to grind single ghosts because they dropped 3 magic points. I don't miss those days. You never even knew if you'd get enough of them in a row, and it'd be really frustrating. It was also just really dumb because it's right after you come out of all the cutscenes. It's like, okay, finally I can play the game, except now I have to grind. But with Seraphim, thankfully we don't have to do that. Usually you're just short 2 AP or 2 magic points, but this time I'm short, what, 6, 4? 6, 5. 5, yeah. So I'm 3 behind what I normally would be. Which means I made up a point somewhere since I lost 4 from cranes.
Extra rats?
No, it's just probably how the luck came out from Sealed Cave.
Oh, I see.
Most likely. Now we need to play some Foreigner. I've always enjoyed this one too. It's like, let's have a cutscene to set up the next cutscene. It's like just so pointless. Like, go to sleep is the cutscene, and you know, to set up the nighttime cutscene. So stupid. I never would have cared casually, but speedrunning it, I'm just like, why? Why does this cutscene exist?
That's pretty fun. Yeah, water
spilled all over myself.
Nice.
Wet crotch, baby.
Yeah, you got the phone vibrating on the balls, you got the wet crotch. This is a really speed run.
Multitasking. I think I didn't get any on my phone. It's just all on my crotch.
I wanna know what love is.
Want you to shackle me.
Great song. So Leo didn't quite give her the answer, so she's gonna ask the ninja. Apparently he's no help either. And we got Locke doing probably what I would also be doing if I were on this boat.
Seasick.
The seniors at the school I teach at have a semi-formal dance on a little boat cruise thing that goes around the bay, the San Francisco Bay Area. And then I don't know why I decided to go on there because I get motion sick from everything. There's like a solid hour there. I'm like trying to take care of kids, and I'm like, you know, trying not to throw up myself.
No Dramamine?
I took some, but it just didn't kick in, I guess. I don't know.
I get random bouts of motion sickness when I do stuff like fly. I take it anyway, just in case.
Yeah. It worked wonders on my flight here. But I guess the boat was too strong. Or not strong enough, one of the two.
Why not take the boat all the way up to the actual town?
So I can get one-step encounters.
LSAT.
There's a handful of encounterless tiles there. It's usually in places where different patterns meet. So where the light green meets the dark green. Most of the time that's the case.
So you really don't spend a whole lot of time in World of Realm, do you?
No, not at all.
Not really.
7 Thunder Rods. That's perfect. 5 for the boss, 1 for another boss, and 1 in case I need it for some reason. Which is cool.
Alright, so is the old man ever hate?
That's what I was gonna say.
Ever 8 even fit?
Ever H8?
Ever, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm stupid.
It's alright, Vic. That's what we're here for.
I want to be a real boy someday.
Okay. Say. Alright.
It's a hell of a mohawk Ever 8 has, though. I like it.
Mohawk.
He's one of those cool old guys.
Realm, Destroyer of Worlds.
We'll call her R.
The name truly befitting a girl of her power.
Agreed. I don't even have anyone with a real name right now, do I? It's R, L, A, and S, A.
Alright, let's see.
Alright, I think we have another bet on our hands. How many bombs am I gonna run into?
Well, does she actually add
At what point does it become a big joke?
I don't know. I mean, on average, you're probably gonna get like 4 at least. So I feel like anything beyond 4 is really bad. I do have to fight some, so there's that. But ultimately, I'm still gonna try to dodge them and see what happens. So.
The good old 1 GP in, you know something's gonna happen.
Yeah. Because usually it's like if you don't do the cutscene first, it's something outrageous, like 1,000 or 10,000 or something like that.
10,000.
And I just remember it being a lot, so you're just like, I'm not fucking staying here, you know? Fuck that.
A fire broke out. Don't know why.
What's after this? Shit block?
Shit
Yep,
block.
shit block is after this.
That's good. I need a break.
So I have done good work. Dellen is leading off with Dino City.
Nice. Nice. My boy.
Poor Dance Show isn't even gonna get to see it.
Yeah, probably not.
Dinosity.
Dinosity.
Dinosity, nice.
The good old Flames Be Gone spell. She broke the equilibrium. Is that lady's fault?
That's what I always say. She ruins the pyramid, dude.
So Flames Beyond is the official magic word for the ice spell in this game.
I guess.
Just like it's Ha for lightning in Final Fantasy.
Alright. Let's do this.
Going with 6.
Let's do this.
I don't know. The full hundo.
The full hundo.
His ATB is actually pretty good, so I'm gonna fight this one.
Whoa.
Oh, what is that, dude? What is that? ATB is pretty good here, so I'll fight this one as well.
Put it full hundo.
I really want a 6-pack bomb fight in here somewhere, though. I also just want a 6-pack in general, but... Yo, what is this? Yo!
Oh, nice.
Yo! What? Yo!
Damn, son.
Dude, what?
Alright. Too bad I need to fight them now, dude.
I am.
That was the best bomb house
How the hell?
already I've ever had in my life, dude. It's really unfortunate that I still have to fight them anyway.
Hot juice, indeed.
I would get the jukes when I need to fight bombs, dude. That would be what happens. Okay, you're good. You're good. So basically, I'm just gonna use my extra Thunder Rod on the way to Ultros, and then I'll be good. We got the backup strats.
So that was what, 1? And then 2 intentional? No, it's 2.
Nah,
Yeah,
it was
two,
still a lot.
too. So some serious jukes.
Okay. Juke's on point.
So we're gonna put Terra in Esper form, which doubles her magic, and she's gonna destroy Flame Eater. And then we're actually gonna sit in the menu to wait trick so that her Esper form doesn't run out of charge, because we do want to use it again. if it runs out, you have to actually earn enough magic points to get it again, which we're absolutely not going to do. So we're going to wait trick it so we can keep it for later. Well, at least we know it's possible. That would have only been a 2-bomb.
Would have been a 2.
2 accidental, 2 intentional.
Very, very impressed. Those jukes
So should
were...
we actually remove a choke from the counter because of that juke?
Can't undo a
I was about to say, you can't erase the past, you know? You gotta live with it. Grow from it, you know? I'm good with that first part. Second part, not as much. Now we see Shadow's awesome powers as he cuts fire and then smoke bombs everybody out.
Out of a burning house.
Out of a burning house, yeah. However that works.
Ninja magic, dude. Don't question it.
Yeah, I guess. You know if they destroyed all the Wingstop? There's still some left
There's still
over.
some left.
Some already
I had to
started.
like stop myself because I was super hungry, so I was just smashing it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw Deuce eat some. He eat like a 1 a little bit ago.
This is probably not enough time to go somewhere before whenever my game is. So.
I know, like, him and I are going first because the SNS is already hooked up.
Yeah.
So, but after that, I don't know what he's planning.
Could always run real quick if you want to.
That's right. Talking about real life, because ain't nothing happening here. Turns out the ancestors of these people also made love to Espers, so they have some remnant of magic power. And then we're gonna lose Shadow and never see him again. Slightly faster to just leave out the left side. Slightly, ever so slightly. And then we're on our way.
Do you have any idea which encounter you want to take to fight?
The different palette of this exact encounter, I forget what the name of them are. But I forget how much AP I'm short. If I'm just short 1, then it doesn't really matter. I can kill 5 Slurms too, probably. I don't want to mess with this, so. Why don't I double check to make sure? Yeah, just 1. Cool, so basically any friendly encounter that's not too trolly, I'll just fight.
Ultros 3 doesn't give?
No, Ultros does not.
He gives you 3 GP.
Gumbag.
That's also why I don't have to care if someone dies in Ultros 2, because they wouldn't get the magic points anyway. He doesn't drop any. Ultros doesn't give anything.
1 GP, 2 GP, 3 GP.
Let's see what this fight ends up being. I'm gonna take this one. Just gotta wait for Terra. Nice. That didn't work out. That's alright. We'll do it the slow way. No problem. No problem. Here we go. Gets the job done. It's all good. So we're basically, normally Ultros here is kind of a tutorial for how Sketch works, but he does have a hit point pool, and so you can actually kill him and not have to deal with all that madness of extra dialogue. So we're gonna try to pump up our magic power as much as we can, and then bombard him with thunder rods, because he's weak against thunder and fire, I believe. But so everybody gets at least one earring, which boosts magic. Strago gets 2. Hero Ring is magic and physical. And then we have Terra with magic equipment like Magus Hat and White Dress. Try to pump up as much damage as we possibly can.
Crush just pump block.
I believe so.
Like teabagging.
He eats fast.
Timing is kind of tight, but with the weight trick, it's typically successful. Like, I'm not sure I got that input in time, but it shouldn't matter. So it works out in 2 ways. You don't deal with the extra animations and dialogue for Sketch, and you should also kill him before he uses a bunch of spells, buffing spells on himself. So you save that time as well. Yeah, looks like I made it though. There he goes.
Nice.
A nice little quick kill there.
So what is it that actually triggers Realm appearing in that fight? Is it just number of hits?
I believe it's a damage total.
Let's see.
Hello. Oh, I'll do that. We want that one. Alright, boys. I'll see y'all in a half hour. I'm leaving.
Actually, if you want to go get food, we can mash for you.
Okay.
Officially co-op round?
Co-op any percent with Sketch.
World record?
World record's free. Well, since you can assign character slots to different controllers, you probably could technically get some sort of co-op thing going.
Yeah, probably.
So no Deuce said no reading the chat, but Sabrax says exactly what it is. Ultron or when Realm appears. Daddy.
My name is Bichphuongballz.
Hi, Vic. Looking good, bro.
Thanks.
Not sure what that is.
Are you gonna do shock for the fans?
Oh, I could totally do shock. Big's not here to tell me otherwise. Dude, I don't even remember what to do. You just talk to Kafka, right?
Yeah, that's it. Pretty sure.
I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah. I love doing shock.
That's what, 2 fights in a shock or 3?
Drop that guy, Joe.
Oh, he's back.
2.
Shock abort.
Ah, I see. You're in control, man.
Is it 2 fights or 3? Or
4 or 5 even, actually.
Start with shock.
yeah, that's
Although I kind of do it by feel, so it's no less than 4. That's absolute. It might be 5. I'm sure. Don't forget to roll him first.
We get to see the epic portrait.
I don't even remember how to row in this game, dude. Alright, we got this.
I mean, I can take the controller back.
Your wings. Let's just go left, right?
Yeah, left A.
Go left,
plus.
double A, yeah.
Easy enough. It's so hard mashing A. What kind of an RPG is this?
No. I don't trust her mashing.
LCC.
That portrait.
Fans!
Yeah. Such a cool attack.
Oh, well, we're doing it twice.
Yeah, more shock.
Don't die.
I mean, I have no one to blame with myself, so still.
Shock is swag, but it is slower and less powerful.
Alright, we did it.
We did it right.
What am I fighting for?
Leo 0 confirmed.
Leo.
Bible poop!
Right.
Just like those wings.
Alright. 2 for 3.
I want to say fire 3 only hits.
3 for 3, baby.
2 for 3. Probably fire
So I
1
only
and
have
fire
1 or
3.
0 left.
Well, you can pick a specific one, or even 2 specific ones if you really want to get fancy.
Boom.
Vespers get wrecked.
Never really understood how Kefka had this power.
Was there no weapon or something? I thought you kind of explained it.
This is it. No, fire one.
I'm wrong.
Oh, I'm already off.
Dang.
Fire one only.
Only fire one.
We were given great expectations, and then nothing. Thank you.
Yep.
Now I can survive the next 4 hours of marathon. It's not over yet. Want to know how to ride a chocobo?
Run 7 Chocobo High?
Yep. Able to go all the way downstairs, grab some wings, chow down, come back, and you're still not done.
Nope.
Way to go, crack.
Go crack.
It was a perfect gentleman.
Yeah.
That's my crack attack impression.
Didn't have enough dicks and balls, but it was pretty good.
Puffed up aerobics instructor.
Oh, crack attack.
Crack attack on the 10-year-olds. Don't worry, there's more cutscenes.
You got to walk a step.
Cutscene fantasy 36,
I mean, I guess it's no Final Fantasy X or anything, but
at least there's no fake laughter.
It wouldn't be the same game without that scene, though. It's so great.
Agreed.
alright. Now we're gonna get into some sketch madness. The bottom line for that is having sketch miss or having sketch try to do something it can't possibly sketch, like your own party or something like that. I think the usual FF6 scientists are in there, but kind of like keeping it in layman's terms, that freaks out the game. It has no data to pull from. and depending on what other variables are in place, such as the ones that I have in place, it will start doing screwy things like writing items into your inventory, glitching out equipment slots, or putting items in a phantom slot like 256, or placing all status effects on my party, or things like that. So we're going to be making use of that with all the kind of items I have and the spells I have, and we're going to kind of do different things to lock to change some variables as well, and then try to sketch something that you can't to make things go a little crazy, or a lot of crazy. First thing it does is it asks for 4 or 3, and you're gonna put 4 in because why not? Then we're gonna fly.
He also lands the airship in a very specific place right there.
Yes, I do. You'll see why a little bit later. So I'm gonna reset here because I'm basically looking to avoid specific encounters. That's an intanger. I forgot to menu though. Save it again. So there's a little bit of setup to do here. First thing I'm going to do is put Phantom on, because it's going to give me the Vanish status, which makes spells hit with 100% accuracy. I want to be able to Imp Lock, and this is going to ensure the first one hits him no matter what. It's not a bad thing if it doesn't work, it just wastes time. And then we're gonna give him 4 MP restoratives. Okay, so we're gonna see some graphical glitches here, which means that I got it correctly. It's impossible to sketch your own party, so what I've done is I casted Muddle on Realm with 100% accuracy because she was vanished.
The game doesn't like that.
Yeah. And then putting her in the confused state means she'll try to sketch the party instead, which can't happen. The game doesn't like it so much that I have to actually save and reset it to actually play the game effectively. What that specific one does is a number of things. It wrote a bunch of items into my inventory that you'll see, but thankfully it doesn't mess with the goggles. That's why it's in a specific slot that it is. It also put Moogle Charms in item slot 256, which actually doesn't exist in the US version. At least you don't have access to it. And anyone familiar with the Japanese run, basically they use slot 256 to equip things on body parts that should not be possible, and I'm going to be doing the same thing here. So what you'll see is the Moogle Charm in their weapon slots and his armor slot. So now everybody that's going to be in my Kefka's Tower parties, at least one person has a Moogle Charm, which keeps me safe from encounters. It gave me a number of other things as well. Hang on a sec. So I got a bunch of good stuff, and it's also gonna, allow me to, I don't want to land there, equip goggles, keeping the same pattern in mind. It's gonna allow me to keep goggles on Locke's hand. He's gonna equip it as a weapon, and that's gonna do some pretty incredible stuff later on as well. Let me just set up the next fight here. So not only did I reset for the game to kind of calm down a little bit, but it's also going to guarantee I get the encounter that I want, which is an intanger. So it basically starts off with vanish, so I don't really have to do anything with it. And then we're gonna mess with lock a little bit again to get our variables in the correct place, for lack of a better phrase. So now we're gonna basically employ the same thing. In this case, the enemy is already not there, so it's not sketchable. And it's gonna glitch out the game again. Now what I'm gonna do is go into my menu, and you see all this random crap in here that I wouldn't normally have had. I'm going to put the goggles on first. That's what's most important, because I won't be able to do it later on. So I have -4 goggles, now I have -3. I'm gonna pull some running shoes up closer, because I'm gonna be putting a lot of those on, so I'd like them at the top of my relic list. I'm gonna do that too. And then I'm also gonna put my X potion in that specific spot as well. And then I have to do a couple more things. I need to put my buckler on. And then I need my flame shields. I'm just gonna move some stuff out of the way. And I have all this time anyway. I'm not forcing the game to wait and lose time. I have to sit here for actually a variable amount of time. It could be like a minute, could be 3, or the game could just crash. That also happened once. So this one, my job is to put the goggles in my weapon slot. That's gonna allow me to do something called menu merging. I have an 8-frame window during Locke's attack to jump into someone's magic menu, but it'll actually enter their item menu. And items and magic share the same IDs, so the ID for X Potion actually has the same ID as of a very specific spell. So now you'll see here in the World of Ruin, we wrong warped with that portion of the sketch glitch. You can already see here, like, I have some weird stuff going on. I have 0 hit points, I have some status effects. What that sketch glitch version does is it actually puts every single possible status effect on all of my party members. The one we're actually looking for is the engulf status effect. Anyone who remembers how to get go-go, you go to the island, you get engulfed by the Zone Eater, and when everybody gets engulfed, it's a status effect, and the game knows, oh, okay, now we're gonna load up Go-Go's dungeon, because that's what happened. So when I put that status effect on my party, that's where we end up. So we basically warp from right before the floating continent to the World of Ruin. And the reason why I had to park my airship in that specific spot is if I put it somewhere else, my airship would be in the mountains somewhere, and I wouldn't have access to it. Or it would be too far away and I'd have to walk, and then I'd probably get bodied by, you know, the things that are here. So we're gonna make our parties. We're gonna leave dear old Kutan to fly the ship, because she sucks. And we're gonna go. You can do the sketch glitch a lot of different ways. There's a lot of ways to do it where nothing happens. There's other ways to do it where you get different results. And people basically just put in the work to find, hey, is there a result that's actually useful for a speedrun? And it turns out there were. And they then took the time to route that out. So it's very, very cool. I know, I think Cad Money and Killai put a lot of work into that. I'm sure like LCC and Abyssinum had a hand in it too. So kudos to those gentlemen for putting this together. So we get to cut out an hour of content. I get to go through the tower with almost no danger, because I have Moogle Charms. So it's really just up to my own execution at that point. Exactly. Exactly. We're gonna pick up some high magic block items just to make things a little bit safer for any party member that's important. It'll be Setzer at first, then Lock after, and then we're just gonna go through the motions here. So that's one party done. So we're gonna pump Setzer's magic block up just so he has a better chance of surviving any boss attack if they happen to target him. Everybody gets running shoes so they can act faster. And then now we're going to employ the first of 2 boss skips. Very similar to yesterday's misclip in some ways. I'm gonna save just for the heck of it. To where I'm gonna come in on a trigger and hold the Y button to switch parties, and then I'm gonna hit X and Y in succession so it switches parties and puts me in the menu. Once I change my leaders, it will actually allow me to walk off the trigger, skipping the boss fight entirely. So we don't have to do that. It's not that Inferno is like a bad fight, you would just Joker Doom him, but if you don't have to fight him at all, then obviously that's faster. And normally coming through here is pretty treacherous, especially if you're off step route or don't have a step route in the first place. A lot of dangerous encounters. You would only have 2 people in each party instead of 3. Everybody is underleveled, and it can be pretty dangerous and time-consuming. Lots of unescapable battles, and times you might have to use slots. Or you might run into a ninja who throws something at you and then you die. That you don't have to worry about here. Just kind of sit and enjoy the music. Well, coming up we have a boss fight, Guardian. Simple in nature. You Joker Doom him. It's the second and last time you do this in the sketch run. All you need is for one person to survive to cast that echo screen, and then Setzer's gonna slots him, or I guess Duck's gonna slots him. And then you're at least kind of in the clear as far as save points, because I had to do. It's not like it's a long time to get back to where I am, but it's a bit annoying. Whereas I'll get one right after this boss, so that's nicer. Okay, so we're gonna wait out his turn, because he might have hit someone.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Magic Tech Armor, I should probably bring that up, is also technically a status effect. That's why they're in one right now.
Woo!
I didn't even think about that. It's like not even unusual to me anymore. It's like, oh yeah, Magic Tech Armor, whatever. We're gonna employ the same boss trigger skip here to basically allow me to continue going up the conveyor belt, even though I'm not supposed to do that. Basically kind of, again, skipping what the game is supposed to do to me, so I can keep moving up. And then that will allow me to, skip Poltergeist, who again isn't a tough fight, but it's still time save, which is, of course, what we want. Okay, we have to put running shoes, of course, haste. We want Espers on Gal and Stragos, so they have the magic menu in their combat menu. And then we're gonna see our first menu merge here. Ideally the first time, first try. That's too early. Thankfully, for the most part, Doom is not dangerous. This is a time loss, but it's not a big deal. So you can see I went into my magic menu, but you can see that I have items here, and the game's also screwing up. Slot 1 is where my X potion is, so I'm going to use it on him. And X Potion happens to share the same number ID as the magic ability Baba Breath, so I'm just gonna blow Doom out of there and call it a day.
So great.
Nice.
And that's Doom down. I will save here, not necessarily just for marathon safety, but also because there's a chance that I die here due to RNG. To crack it. So I don't have lock here. I can't menu merge, so we're gonna get a little bit creative because we're in Magic Tech suits.
I love this. This is my favorite. Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is employ some of that same backwards attacks. I'm gonna confuse Edgar on purpose, and before he gets confused, I'm gonna queue into Phantom, and so he's gonna cast Phantom because I've already queued the attack, but he's gonna cast it on Goddess instead because it's supposed to be beneficial, and since he's confused, he'll do it on the enemy instead. And then what I'm gonna do is cast the good old ability that you'd never use in the game ever for Magic Tech Expert, which is basically X Zone. And again, she would normally be immune to it anyway, but because you put Vanish on her, the game only cares that, oh, well, Vanish means 100% accuracy. So it works on her and she gets, you know, one shot basically.
That's pretty awesome.
And then we just gotta go on to Kefka, which is gonna be a little different than what you might be used to. But we have a little bit of cutscene to get through first. Menu merging is a little tricky. You have an 8-frame window from the queue of the attack to entering the magic menu, and if there are other things happening, you can kind of get messed up. Like if like you had a regen tick or damage tick, or the enemy got to go before you got to queue in your turn, and then things can kind of get messed up. With Doom, you just typically have to wait another turn because you have the equipment to be safe. With Tier 1, it gets a little bit more dangerous because I don't really have good ways to dodge his attacks, and every attack he does will one-shot me, and he gets 3 turns because there's 3 parts. So it can get a little dicey if you don't get the mini merge first try. There are cues you can use. I tried to do it the first time. It's the fastest, to where if you enter the magic menu right before the damage numbers disappear, you'll be right within that frame window and you'll get it. I was a little too early. My backup, which used to be my primary, but I know that it's ultimately slower now, is for me to keep a count in my head of when I put my inputs in, to hit the button on time. But that takes a little longer, and you sit there and let the boss like build ATB too, so it can be a little bad. But at the end of the day, you also have to try to figure out like what's going to work for you consistently, especially in a marathon setting. But the glitch is cool. You skip a lot of content, you skip a lot of cutscenes. You get to see some really, really neat ways to get through the boss aside from slots. And like RJDs are always impressive to watch, but it's just different. So I get a kick out of both categories, really. It's a little trick of the trade. If you're not bad about names, you can memorize who to bring by slot number instead. So there's that.
Ready on time.
Which one?
You have to click the timer.
Click the timer and space bar.
Got it.
Very easy.
So this time I'm going to use it on a party member. I'm going to get Locke out of there. And what that's going to do is put a flag on the game that says victory, And so I just want to end the battle as soon as possible by suiciding. Time. And that triggers the end of the game because I technically won the fight. Yeah.
So great.
Normally, that flag is involved. If anyone remembers how to get Terra in the World of Ruin, you fight Bichphuongballz, and he'll Baba Breath someone away, and that sets a flag. And however the battle happens to end, it says, okay, you won, so it doesn't game over you, and then it continues on with the sequence where Terra comes out, turns into an Esper, and helps you out in the fight. So it's the same exact thing here. Once you put Baba Breath on a party member, it's like, okay, the game says, cool, you won, we just gotta, whenever the battle's over, I just go to the next cutscene. And so the easiest way to finish the fight is to kill yourself, and then you watch the ending, basically. So, what was the time? 3:52, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We didn't die,
Only,
so that's good.
Only 6 big chokes.
That's less than half from Limit Break, so that's good.